disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it, man.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
Gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
You just killed a little fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. Yeah, because you got nothing. Lobito! Got nothing.
I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA boxing.
Got the goddamn music. This is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the boxing debate arena. Special Saturday show. Anything goes, basically. But I had to choose a title, so I chose the Al Haymon tries to save Andy Ruiz. If you didn't know, apparently Al Haymon was the one who mastermind. What's again Ruiz's trainer? Robles?
Manny Robles.
Yeah. Well, he's out because Al Haymon wanted him out, apparently. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about that and much more. And apparently there is a Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder press conference today, but I don't know if it's going to be streamed live because I can't find any streams. But we'll keep you updated as the show goes along. All right, let's just give a quick shout out here. Mark Boxeo, Subash Kunar, always in the chat. Saint Brit, Danny Montiel, Virtuoso, who else? Blues Boxing, The Shepherd of Sons, and Blue Collar Sports TV, Delboy is in the chat. Guys, welcome to the show. We already have Gonzalo here, and Stu should be joining us soon. Let me just make sure he gets the message. All right. Oh, fuck. Anyways, Gonzalo, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, how's it going? Doing all right. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Listen, I'm going to be honest. I'm not excited about this Danny Garcia fight. I actually don't care about it. I'm not going to watch it. I don't care, man. And this guy, Danny Garcia, I just read that... What's the news? Danny Garcia is like, oh, I want to fight 3 to 4 times a year. Like, since when? Why now? Like, why now? Why is he now wanting to fight 3 to 4 times a year? It's like, there's something weird. And then maybe he's running out of money. I mean, I don't know. So then, Danny Garcia. Oh, we got a donation. Mark Boxeo, thank you for your contribution. Mark Boxeo, Bay Area Boxing, what's up? All right, so Danny Garcia is now complaining, basically, because he is complaining. All right, when you're saying that you want to fight 3 to 4 times a year when you never really fight that much in a year. Here's a fact, people. The last time Garcia had more than 2 fights per year was back in 2012. And now he's complaining? He wants to fight 3 to 4 times a year? I think the money's running out. Yeah. What do you think, Gonzalo?
Well, let's face it. When do the PBC fighters ever fight more than twice a year?
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Never. But he didn't complain before. Why is he complaining now? What was he was happy before and he's not happy now with 1 or 2 fights per year? That doesn't work anymore. Why isn't it working? You know, and he goes on to say in this article that he wanted to fight Mikey Garcia. That fight didn't materialize. He also wanted to fight Pacquiao. That didn't materialize, and so now he's begging for having 3 to 4 fights a year. And he says that he wants to put on a show this Saturday, so tonight, and he's targeting Pacquiao still and IBF champion Errol Spence, who we don't even know when he's gonna come back. We don't even know if he's gonna be the same ever again after having that fucking accident. But what do you think about Danny Garcia? I'm asking everybody, Gonzalo and people in the chat. Where is he gonna go with this career?
Well, we'll see. He's even it's rumored that he also made a comment that he might move up to 154, right? Okay, we'll see. I personally think this fight will be interesting. It'll be fun to watch. We could expect that Danny Garcia will most likely win late, but I mean, who knows? We could also see, I don't know, that it could be possibly an upset because he had a hard time with Mauricio Herrera. Let's not forget.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, the Killer Red Cash. He's all right. He just has a lot of adrenaline coursing through his veins, and he's good. But then he could get caught with a punch if he gets too excited or drains himself out, like he did against Molina, where he was winning that fight handedly, but he just got caught with the left or right hook. Same thing could happen in this fight. He can get caught with the hook. One of them Danny haymakers that come out of nowhere, out of left field. I think it'll be a good fight in the beginning. Interesting fight. But if he wins, we can expect for him to fight in a big fight next. Now, this fight, but the question, Red Cash, he's a career 140-pounder, but when has Danny ever had a good win in welterweight?
That's what I'm saying.
Last fight, he fought at 152 against Devin Alexander. He came at 148, but Alexander at 152.
Okay,
so
but
we'll see. They look good. They both look good on the scales.
I didn't really find that many articles of him moving, because I saw one article that said where Garcia said that he wanted to move to 154, or it was an option, whatever. But that's it. There's not a lot of talk about that, and it makes sense because, like you just said, what has he really accomplished at welterweight? And is the power really there? I know that left hook is always, he has a lot of power, and he knocked out Granados, but then Granados is also like a 140-pounder, to be honest. So at 154, man, I'd see fucking Garcia having a lot of trouble, man.
Danny Garcia is a strong guy. He's just not cut out physically for the 154-pound division. I mean, are you serious? Are we going to see him fight the likes of those big guys, Jason Rosario, Jared Hurd, Erislandy Lara? They're too lanky.
Exactly. I don't think it would be a good move. I think welterweight is his limit. And we're talking about Garcia. Oh, by the way, we have Stu on the line. Stu, what's up?
What's happening, Butcher? What's the topic, brother?
Anything goes, man, basically. I have a bunch of topics that I printed out. So we're just talking about Danny Garcia, who is saying that he wants to fight 3 to 4 times a year. And I was, telling people, why wasn't Danny Garcia complaining about fighting more than twice a year before? You know what I mean? Now he's complaining. And guess what? Look at these facts, too. The last time Garcia had more than 2 fights per year was back in 2012. So why is he is he running out of money or what's going on?
So I didn't get what are you saying? He's complaining because he has to fight 2 times a year. Is that what you're saying?
He wants to fight 3 to 4 times a year.
I should think he does the money he gets paid to stink the joint out. I mean, this guy's fucking conned the public for how long? A few more years of him conning us. Is that what we're going to get, is it?
Exactly.
Danny Garcia is a talent. But all I see in Danny Garcia is a man that comes and gives it 60%, if that. Doesn't let his hands go. Like I said, I've said before, I keep hearing about this Danny Garcia power, but just look at the KO ratio, average at best. Yeah, if he lands clean, he hurts you. But we keep, this Danny Garcia knockout highlight reel. Go and watch it. It's fucking Amir Khan sleeping and Rod Solka. That's about it.
Yeah, let's look at it. Okay, Amir Khan knockout, big win, right? At the time and everything. Matisse.
Yes, but the thing is, it was a big win. But anyone with any sort of punching power, half decent power. I'm not even talking about devastating power. I'm talking about half decent power. Is putting Khan to sleep. We've seen that. Oh, fucking Julio Diaz was rocking into his boots. Guys are fucking useless. So for me, it's a good win. It's a good win because Gamir Khan was still quite explosive at the time, wasn't he? He was quite quick and he was on a good winning streak. He'd had some good wins, so it was a good win for Garcia. But how long ago was that? And we're going to keep crowing off that.
Yeah, and then Matisse,
Matisse, the guy that fucking folds every time someone with
he was
half-decent record steps in front of him.
He was undefeated at the times too. He was undefeated. He was on a knockout streak or something like that, remember?
Yeah, but come on, man. We've seen from Matisse since every time someone takes it to him, he's a bully boy. He likes giving it out. As soon as someone takes it to him, he folds like a fucking pack of cards.
All right.
So that's
true. Okay. That was 2013, by the way.
Of course it's true. It's facts.
Okay, that's a fact. Okay. However, then let's look at, like you said, Danny Garcia's big fights. So we got Keith Thurman. No, before that it was Lamont Peterson. How did that turn out? Where was the power there? Where was all this explosiveness, this knockout?
Listen, he's lucky. He's lucky Lamont Peterson is too fucking dumb to work out how to what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, Lamont Peterson got it all wrong. It was a Joe Gallagher game plan. What are you going to do? Wait 7 rounds to start throwing your hands and then I hope to win on the cards. No, you've got to fucking let your hands go early. As soon as Peterson stood in the pocket and took it to Garcia, he was smashing him to pieces. I mean, let's be real, it was a good job it went a 15-round fight because Garcia definitely wouldn't have made it out of that one. Lamont Peterson was beating the brakes off him. And this is Lamont Peterson we're talking about. Look what Spence did to that guy. So, Peterson's a good fighter, but nothing special. Never has been. And he bullied Danny Garcia. Then you've got the
Garcia's next big fight was Keith Thurman. All right. How did that turn out, Stu?
Well, another one where he turned up and didn't want to let his hands go, and it was a close fight. I thought I had Thurman winning it, but Thurman's erratic himself, isn't he? I mean, let's be real. Thurman's a knockout waiting to happen. Like, was just half the fighter he used to be. So, Thurman's not been right since Calazos for me. So, yeah, it's a good win, good performance from Garcia, but he didn't get the victory. So, are we going to praise Derek Chisol's?
I don't think he did shit. I think it was one of his worst performances. Well, Garcia didn't do shit in that Thurman fight.
No, it was an all right performance, but it was nothing special, was it? He didn't set the world up. Every time he's in there, it's an all right performance from him.
How about when he fought Sean Porter?
Yeah, he lost that one as well, didn't he?
See, that's what I'm trying to I know we all know the results and everything, but I'm just trying so people can get a good picture.
Yeah, just listen. If you disagree with what I say, then that's fine. But just come on here or put in the comment section what he has done that's really impressed you and what makes it look like I'm talking shit. Because I can't think of anything.
I think you're going to agree with Bay Area for the first time. He says Lamont Peterson got slapped by Lucas Matisse, and it's true, though. What does that tell you about Danny Garcia? He couldn't knock out Lamont Peterson.
Right. He was getting beat up. Let's be real. Zab Judah, the guy that makes Andre Durrell look brave. That guy, he was beating the brakes off Danny Garcia. Zab Judah, as soon as Zab Judah started letting his hands go and took the fight to Danny, he folded like a pack of cards yet again. This is the thing about Danny Garcia. He's all right when he's fighting at that slow pace, when he's looking for the perfect punch, waiting for the counter, the left hook, whatever it is. The right hand, that's all he's got. A right hand and a left hook. And quite decent shots, but he's always looking for them. Quite easy to predict. And as soon as someone just forgets that, just stands in the pocket, takes it to Danny, he folds like a pack of cards. He's tough as now. Don't get me wrong, if he didn't have a chin, he'd have a few KO defeats on his record because he's took some monster shots in his career. So he's a tough lad, Danny Garcia. I wouldn't want to fight him on the street, that's for sure. But he's just lackluster in a boxing ring. As simple as that.
All right, moving on. According to Dan Raphael from ESPN, Bob Arum wants to make the Crawford-Conor McGregor fight. And the plan would be to have one bout under MMA rules and another fight under boxing rules. And that's pretty bad, in my opinion, for the sport of. First of all, wasn't Bob Arum the one that was criticizing the whole McGregor-Floyd Mayweather fight? Now he's talking about Terence Crawford fighting McGregor in the UFC and then in boxing. What do you guys think about this shit?
Well, Bob Arum's not a big UFC guy. He's not really a fan. But I mean, they want to make Terrence Crawford more popular. Now the question is, will McGregor accept a fight against Terrence Crawford?
I really don't think that's a good idea, man. I mean, first, I know McGregor's bigger, but he sucks at boxing. And we saw it in that Floyd fight. He's pretty bad, man.
Are we talking about Crawford McGregor, did you say?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Well, that's what it's on ESPN.
McGregor's going to get pieced up. McGregor's going to get pieced up in a boxing ring, and Crawford's going to last about 30 seconds in a cage.
Yeah.
So I just don't. I mean, if Terrence Crawford goes anywhere near McGregor, then it's a good payday for him, but it's going to take a lot of respect away from the boxing public.
Terrence Crawford's pretty strong. He can wrestle a little bit. Like
he can wrestle a little bit. Yeah, but come on, man. Leg kicks or anything. He can't do any of that shit. Listen,
he gets stopped. He gets
destroyed. But this thing with Bob Arum, it's like, is it because he's running out of ideas with Crawford? He doesn't know what to do with Crawford. So he's
he's kind of old too. You can't take his statements verbatim because he's made many comments in the past that he hasn't like always fulfilled. So he's I'm not saying he's senile.
He's losing it.
Like in his 80s,
dementia,
late 80s.
Are you saying he's losing his mind?
Well, I mean, he's just too old to be like. He's just like a talker, you know. He's not.
No, I mean, maybe it's his last desperate attempt to make Crawford into a star. I mean, Crawford's getting on a bit now. Time's getting on. It's the Spence fight. Him and Haymon are so old school and stubborn. They just don't seem to want to give in and make business for the sake of the boxing fans. They just don't want to do that. So it wouldn't surprise me if Bob did get McGregor in there. But it'd be another fucking circus.
Let
McGregor do it. McGregor's got his own work cut out in the UFC, man. What's he worrying about boxing for?
I have to commend Top Rank though because they have a lot of top pound for pound fighters in their stable. Out of the top 10, they got like 3 or 4 of them, if not more, that I can think of. They got really good fighters. I think they got the best stable in general.
All right, moving on. Let's move on. Now, Manny Robles says Al Haymon advised Andy Ruiz Jr. to fire him after the AJ loss. So,
well, let's face it. Al Haymon is the biggest in the PBC. They're the biggest momentum killers. Look at what happened to this guy and Julian Williams, and time again we've seen that, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know. They did it with Spence also after he defeated Kell Brook. The momentum got lost because it took him like another few months to fight again, or like a year.
That's the thing with boxing. Momentum's a massive factor in building a star. That's what Joshua did. Eddie Hearn to build Joshua, just because he had a gold medal around his waist. I mean, anything. And Audley Harrison had a gold medal around his waist. What happened to him? You've got to keep him busy. You've got to keep him in the eye of the public. You've got to spend a lot of money promoting these guys. Eddie Hearn's a fucking master. He's just corny as fuck what he's doing. And it's cringeworthy. You can see his fucking boots hanging out of Joshua's ass at times. But he's done look at the money and the popularity Joshua's got now. It works. You know, and I think you've got to keep the momentum going. When you've got a good win, like Kell Brook failed to do, when you get a good win, you've got to build on that. Keep busy, keeping the public eye. Let's be real. There's so much going on in the world. We've got so much to do. Boxers are the last thing on our mind. You've got to keep us fresh in our mind. If you disappear for a year at a time, then we'll forget about you. We'll give you a year.
You're right.
Do
you think we have posters of these people on our walls and shit?
And this plays exactly into what Andy Ruiz lacks. You know, he needs to stay active because when he's got that money and he's got those breaks in between, he gains a lot of weight. So let's face it, this is a facade. You can't blame the trainer if the fighter's not there. This is like telling the public, oh, okay, it was the weight, but now we're going to do it the right weight. And basically we're giving him another opportunity, but we're trying to show the public that, you know, it's just because he wasn't in shape, but that this time, he's going to be able to do that.
It's a way to raise Andy Ruiz, his stock, because his stock has been devalued. It's low, so it is a new way, like you said, Gonzalo, to sell a fight, just to sell Ruiz again to the public by saying, well, you know, this is a new Andy Ruiz that's going to be coming back. You know, he changed trainers. You know, there's changes that are happening, but it's the same guy, man. It's the same fucking guy. If he doesn't want to train, he won't train. But
Yeah,
then again,
he's gone through the list. He's gone through Abel Sanchez. He's had another trainer in between, and he was with Freddie Roach already. Now Manny Robles. Let's face it, if he's got to go with somebody like Teddy Atlas, okay. First of all, you got to pay the guy. You got to pay the guy. Go by a 5x5 contract, and basically you're gonna pay him what he deserves, because basically you're gonna pay for a babysitter or a drill sergeant that's gonna be on you. And he's not going to invest a lot of time in you, because if you want to use that excuse, you have to. If it's not really an excuse, okay, on Andy's side, he has to commit, and you have to have somebody that's really got to be pushing him.
Look, Andy Ruiz, right, hasn't even got the respect of the Mexican fans anymore. They've got some rebuilding to do. No, they've got some rebuilding to do. One thing about the Mexican fans, they'll accept you going in there and getting knocked the fuck out. They'll accept that, but they won't accept someone going in there fat out of weight, not trying, and embarrassing the Mexican flag. And that's what he did. Butcho, you know it. You can't even mention the guy's name without fucking curling up in a ball. Do you know what I mean? You can't stand the guy because of what he did against Joshua. It was embarrassing, the shape he came in. He gave nothing in there. It was embarrassing. And like I said, he's got a lot of rebuilding to do. He has. And I suppose a fight knocking Dillian White out would be a very good start. And let's be real, England is it's a good place to be right now in boxing, to fight Dillian White in a big crowd on pay-per-view in the UK. Where else is Andy Ruiz going to go? On a PBC card in front of 3,000 again?
No.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's not going to work out that well for him, since he is with the PBC, because he will never gain that momentum. And we've seen it in these guys' primes. Errol Spence, I mean, Andy Ruiz is 30 as well. That's his prime. And a few years will go by fast. So if he doesn't get those 2-3 fights yearly, and one being like a marquee fight, he's never going to pick up steam, because he especially has the problem that he's fighting is his weight. This guy will go on the scales at 285. I suspect he was weighing about almost 300 pounds, 295, because he'll put on weight quick. And he needs to stay away from his friends, from those big fat Mexican dudes that like to eat, and the people that cater to that lifestyle. But that's why I don't think it'll be hard with the PVC.
Hey guys, hold on. We have a phone call, 910. You're on the air, 910.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Steven Schneider.
What up? What's on your mind, man?
Same shit, different day. But I yeah. What's up, Butcher? Hey, I just call, man, because I called to just put my 2 cents in. But the whole trainer thing, I'm getting real sick of this trend of boxers and/or managers blaming trainers or firing trainers for their performances, using that as a lift-off for the quote-unquote reboot of their careers. I mean, come on, man. It's such a scapegoat and such a shitty thing to do, like Manny Robles. Is it true that Manny Robles isn't Ruiz's trainer anymore? Is that true?
Yep, he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, come on. Do you think Manny Robles would still be his trainer if he won versus, Joshua?
Of course, he'd still be there, yeah.
No, he'd probably still be his trainer, right? He'd still be his trainer. I mean, let's face it, right? Let's cut the bullshit. He'd still be his trainer, right? And that just shows the character and the personality of a person. And as much as I hate, I don't hate Joshua. I respect Joshua and all that. But the whole anyway. But
yeah, it's funny because
in fact, I have so much respect for any boxer who keeps his trainer through a big fight loss, more so than any other, because they take and that's indirectly taking responsibility for your performance. You know what I mean? Your trainer can tell you to do whatever, but most of us in our life, we've had people, leadership, or parents, or a drill sergeant, or someone tell us to do something, but it's on us to do it, right? Okay,
yeah,
you're the one that was eating cheeseburgers. You're the one that wasn't doing shit. You're the one that wasn't doing the road work. You're the one that wasn't getting up because that tight little piece of pussy you had. I don't want to hear it, man. I just think it's fucked up that trainers get thrown under the bus, and that's like a thing. Like, it's like a new trend. It's like, oh shit, I got to rebuild myself and make myself look better. Let me fire my trainer so I get this next fight. Bullshit.
And by the way, Andy Ruiz, after the loss against Anthony Joshua, he said that there was nobody else to blame but himself, right? So now why is he changing tunes? Do you think that Al Haymon is the one that actually told Ruiz to drop his trainer? Because that's a rumor that's going around.
I have no idea.
Maybe,
I don't
but
know
for
if
the
that
propaganda,
Coppinger or
for the
whatever the
look,
fuck
sorry.
his name is dropped that. I'm not really sure about that. Only God and fucking Andy Ruiz could really answer that question. But I think I have a little bit less I lost respect for Ruiz in the rematch. But I also lost a little respect for him dropping Manny because I think he did that as a political move to maybe for money / put himself in the public's eye and maybe, oh, fresh change air. Oh, I'm a better fighter now. And that was, now I can get another shot and I'm more prepared for it because I don't have him anymore. What? The guy that fucking trains you to beat AJ in the first place and win all the belts? I don't know, man. I don't like it. I don't like it, man. I just don't like it in general.
Al Heyman, sorry, bro. You cut out. I thought you'd stopped. Al Heyman doesn't care enough about boxing to worry about who's training Andy Ruiz. He just doesn't give a shit. I don't like him, but I'm not going to blame him for this. This is the thing with fighters today. It's always someone else's fault, isn't it? It's always the trainer's fault. It's always the nutritionist's fault. It's always the pharmacist's fault because they didn't tell them that what they would take. It's just they just don't like to be. They don't like to accept when they're the ones in fault. And Andy Ruiz was the one sticking cocaine up his nose and going on the piss and everything else and eating pizza and fucking tacos. No one else was. I mean, can you imagine someone trying to force a taco into Andy Ruiz's mouth? No, I can't. Yeah. So this guy, just let's be real, he's embarrassed. He's embarrassed, so he needs to save face. So he blames it on the trainer. And he gives it an excuse like all fighters do that. Oh, there's problems in the camp. I wasn't 100%. But next time I will. But there is no next time, Ruiz. There is no next time.
But it's Manny.
Well, let's just say that maybe he doesn't blame it on the trainer in the past, but moving forward, okay, Al Haymon probably told him we want to ensure that he doesn't do this again. So we're gonna get him a trainer that's gonna keep him on his toes. So basically, that they're gonna get a babysitter. Now, is he gonna do what the trainer tells him, and is he really this time gonna follow orders when he's not fighting and when he is fighting in camp? So basically, you have somebody like supervising him because even his father can't deal with him.
Yeah, but isn't Manny Robles incompetent if he can't get the fighter to do what he needs the fighter to do?
Well, we're grown men, right? And training basically, like, you're supposed to, I guess, if the fighter's responsible, if he's mature, he takes his time off, but when he comes to camp, he's in camp. But this guy would even, like, when he went out running, he would go by himself, then he would take video of himself and kind of like show Manny Robles that I'm doing the work.
Are you serious?
So he was cutting corners. Maybe he is a little responsible.
Hey, the only running he did was to the fucking liquor store and to the fucking Pizza Hut. Get out of here.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, he'd go running in camp for the Joshua. This is like the biggest fight, the rematch. And he would take video of himself and bring it and tell Manny, I went running. Total shenanigans. So maybe he is a little responsible as far, but again, we're grown men.
He needs a trainer. He needs one of those. He needs one of those trainers. Like, have you ever seen like the new Creed movie, Creed 2, where you have like, anyways, you need a coach. Like, he's driving a car and he's chasing the fighter behind. Like, you know what I mean? That's what he needs. Man.
Yeah, like Little Mac in Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he needs. All right, Steven, anything else?
One last thing, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Johnny Boy, Gonzalo, Bucho, BDA, man. I don't know what the fuck BDA been doing lately, but he ain't been around. But Bucho's carrying this show on his shoulders. Man.
I know. No, he's working on some other stuff.
But Jimmy, I haven't seen Jimmy in a minute, but all the guys, I'm getting everybody, but this is the greatest goddamn boxing podcast in history of boxing shows, channels, YouTube, whatever. Fuck.
By the way, Steven, you were the #1 donor for 2019. We counted everything. You finished first, second place G Boogie, and after that John Gonzalez and the Quacks. So
Well, I ain't having that, man. I ain't about to have that in 2020, man. I got to step it up, man. I ain't about to be the fucking second place, third place supporter of this show. Hell, goddamn it.
Exactly. That's the spirit, man.
Yeah, man. I swear to God. But anyway, all right, man. It was good talking to you guys. I'll let the next caller get on or whatever. But I just want to say that, man. Man, I'm gonna leave it on this, man. I'm just real sick of this new trend of just, I had a bad performance. What am I gonna do? Blame the trainer. Fire him. I'm just sick of that fucking narrative and that whole trend. It was bullshit. But you guys have a wonderful night. Shout out to all the people in the chat. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, man. Thanks for the phone call. Take care, man.
Yeah, no problem, Bucho. Later.
All right. By the way, people asking about Mr. BDA. He is always listening for the most part, and he's working on some Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder film analysis. We already posted one on BDA Live, so go check it out. And he's working on some other ones, and he's also working on topics for the Second Renaissance. So he's pretty busy. So I have to take care of the show sometimes, but he will be back. Don't worry. And again, going back to the changing trainers and stuff, like it's the easiest way to make a change, right? You just change trainers. So that's what Andy Ruiz did.
What's up, boys?
Oh, we got Johnny boy. Johnny, what's up, man?
I went on a rampage Thursday night. I don't know if any of you seen my video with the old guy.
Which one was that? Maybe I missed that one.
Not the stream I did today, but the one before. We was out late, me and the boys, and I just found some old hobo guy. I'm like, yo, tell us how good Roberto Duran was back in the day. Oh, bro, it's tremendous. But
that's pretty cool. I haven't checked that out. I will. Yeah.
Oh, it was funny. Idea. It was just a bit of a joke, but I fucking not to change subjects or nothing, but I was all hungover in this, and I went and watched the fucking Guy Ritchie movie last night.
Oh,
it was fucking. It was fucking. I told Mark and Del Boy the same thing. It was fucking tremendous. It was.
They say it's a racist movie, man.
Yeah, it was tremendous.
No, I'm serious. I saw in the news they were complaining about like how this isn't acceptable these days. It's a lot of stereotypes being portrayed.
Is that what they said?
Oh, I'm not even joking. There's like a lot of stereotypes. Dude, yeah.
It wasn't. I mean, it had its moments, but it wasn't even all that violent. It was more. It was a gangster comedy, like fucking in Bruges or Snatch, bro. It was a gangster comedy.
I know, but it's 2020 now, so.
Oh, these fucking little crybabies can eat my ass.
Motherfuckers.
Out of here.
Everything's boring now and bland and fucking guys, man. This is the future, guys. Or bleak.
You know what? They want a bunch of grown fucking men that don't eat or that eat nothing but salads, don't smoke and don't drink. A bunch of obedient workers. Go fuck
Exactly.
yourself.
No smoking, no red meat, no foul language. Fucking utopia. That's their utopia, which is dystopia, basically.
You know, the thing is, right, what pisses me off, right? They attack, the left attacks smokers and drivers, and I'm both, right? So everywhere I go, I'm getting fucking they're getting putting tax to the eyeballs on cigarettes. They're actually stopping pouches of tobacco. They're going to stop that in the UK soon. I mean, we're paying nearly.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You can only buy. You'll only be able to buy 20 cigarettes, and
wow.
I don't know what it is in dollars, but they're nearly like 50. They're probably about $16, $17 a pack in the UK. Yeah. Some of these
over here, all the boxes are the same now.
Then you got your car. They put they fucking. You go 2 mile over the limit on somewhere. They've got this hidden camera flashing you, fucking giving you 3 points and £100 fine. You told where you sit out. You told your tires have got you not good enough. Yeah, they just boss you around. I mean, the fucking. I mean, we're living like a regime, really, don't we? With a bit of capitalism.
That's what I'm saying. People saying this isn't capitalism. It's not even competitive capitalism. No. It's not,
Stu,
man. It's only the banks.
Now. Oh,
right, go ahead.
Butchel.
I'm gonna start ranting. No, go ahead, Johnny boy.
No. I you know what I do now? I shit you. Well, of course, I don't have my license now, but fucking, when I was driving, I swear to God, as soon as I park the car at the fucking pump, I'll get out and light up just to piss people off. That's what I do. I light up right at the fucking pump as I'm pumping gas, just because I know And then some old fucking hag's gonna be like, that's kind of dangerous. And I'm like, listen, sir, I've been pumping diesel fuel with a cigarette hanging out of my mouth since I was 17 years old, putting them in the Bobcats and the fork. Like, it's not dangerous.
Yeah, diesel's not flammable, I don't think, is it, diesel?
I don't know. Nothing ever.
Cigarette won't burn. That's bullshit.
If that was a bit of unleaded fuel, you'd probably be in a bit of trouble. But diesel.
But it just gets people all fucking fired up. That's why I do it.
Yeah, but like I said, as a car driver, you've always got someone trying to fucking do you for something or get some. I got a parking fine the other day, right? No, parking ticket. So I went into this place, parked my car. The fucking machine don't work. You've got to pay to park your car in town. The machine don't work.
Yeah,
so
I know,
I've looked around.
Yeah,
no one's got tickets. No one's got tickets. I thought, it must be just free parking today because the machine's packed. Got about my business, wanted to pay. Through the post and it fucking another £64 fucking fine or something.
Yeah, what do you do when that machine doesn't work? Like, you call somebody? Like, do you even?
Well, that's what I said to her. They said you should have rang up. I said, well, if I'm going to fucking ring up looking for someone to pay this fucking get out. Do you know what I mean? It's just embarrassing and it's bully boy tactics. Like I said, I've got 6 points. I got 9 really originally because I had to go on a course to take 3 points off, which cost me 100 fucking quid. So, some twat telling me how to drive my fucking car 20 mile an hour everywhere. It's fucking a ball fest. Another scam. So I got 6 points, both doing about 32 and 30s. It's not like I'm doing 100 with a fucking bottle of vodka in my system. I'm doing 2 mile over the fucking limit. I probably took my eye off the ball for 6 points I've got because I've done that. Bully ball practice.
My 90-year-old grandmother, the one from Sicily, she fucking went to get her driver's license renewed because for her age, she's in good health. She can still, go to church and go to the market or whatever. She called my dad up crying the one day because she's like, oh, that guy at the DMV was such a jerk to me and all this other stuff. I swear to God, I was about this close as going to DMV, finding the guy and whipping his fucking ass. Fucking talk to my 90-year-old grandmother like that.
Like, these people are, I heard the DMV in the US is like the worst place you can go, man. These people are just rude.
Shit. Yeah.
All right. Guy, well, before we move on, Johnny boy, what do you think about Andy Ruiz firing his trainer?
Well, the trainer didn't exactly force the fucking quesadillas down his throat, did he?
Exactly.
I mean, who the fuck are you gonna blame? You ain't got nobody but yourself to blame for not, getting in, being in that kind of shape. I mean, I'm a chubby boy. If you fucking threw a couple $100,000 at me, I'll be fucking lickety split in no time. Trust me. But if you can't blame the trainer, the guy who fucking drove you, because you wanted to eat fucking 4 more tacos than you were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, exactly.
On,
and do you think it's Al Haymon that's behind all of this?
Yeah. And just yeah.
I mean, and these so-called scientists, they come out with some idea every week down at summers. If we eat this, it'll give us cancer. I should have died of cancer fucking 38 years ago if you're calling these fucking guys. I mean, bacon gives you cancer. Fuck me, if bacon gives you cancer, I'll be riddled with it. Chocolate gives you dogs cancer. Fucking, I'll give my dogs Snicker bars and Cadbury's milk all the time, man. They're still here.
Well,
all these. A lot of it's a load of fucking nonsense, mate. And this environmental stuff, I don't buy that. I don't buy the.
Yeah,
we'll do a show on that.
Can you remember? Hang on a second. Can you remember when there was a period where we was all told in the UK, right, to help the environment, we've got a new diesel engine out. We want everyone to buy diesels, right? So the turbo diesels they were. A lot of them were turbo diesels. That we was told in the UK, brainwashed, think that petrol cars were bad for the environment. Let's get a diesel. Everyone was going and getting diesels, right? Science has just figured out that diesel engines were causing as much damage, and Gulf, who were claiming that the engine was letting out so many fumes and were lying anyway. They had to pay billions of dollars because they fucking frauded us all. So millions of people went and bought diesel engines for no reason at all. And I'll tell you what, that's just another scam that these rich people do. They get together with the politicians, think of a scam. And that was one of them. The diesel engine scam in the UK.
The ozone's going to explode, Stu, because you threw a Diet Coke can out of your car. It's your fault.
Yeah, exactly.
That little,
It's
that little
crazy stuff like that,
Scandinavian
man.
mutt who fucking, that condescending little blonde bitch who tries to tell us about the environment all the time. I tell you what, do you know what my response to her is? I've just ordered a 2.5 litre turbo car with, with the 2.5 litre turbo engine, mate, and it's a guzzler. It's a fucking guzzler. That's my response to her, mate. I'm not.
Okay, by
I'm
the
not
way,
buying.
guys,
You think I'm gonna go around an electric car, fucking conking out on the motorway to keep fucking people like her happy? Get out of here.
Yeah,
by
and
the
I'm
way,
driving around
I
in
just want to
Uncle
add that the
Buck's
views and
car with the
opinions
fucking
expressed,
muffler popping
the views
off
and
here.
opinions expressed are those of the guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of BDA Boxing. There is no fake news here, people. Global warming is real, and you gotta believe it, and you gotta do everything that the government tells you to do with regards to climate change. It used to be called global warming, but now it's changed to climate change, so it can accommodate every fucking thing that happens with the environment. Right? There's a tornado. That's right. Climate change. All right. Johnny Boy, can you do a shout out for people to like the video, please? You do a great job with
Yeah.
that.
I was going off in the chat for I was not logged into Discord. But yeah, get the fucking likes up, dude. We got 60, 70 fucking people watching. We're not even out of the teens yet. Or last time I checked. Get the fucking likes up, you fucking turds. Get your hand out of your pants like Al Bundy. And move your fucking hand to the mouse and click the fucking like button, you momos. Come on, get it up.
Yeah, Johnny Gonzalez in the chat says the V8's the engine. The V8's, I mean, I was looking at a car, I was looking at the RS5 with a V8 engine in, and 4 litre though, that's just too much for me. I mean, this one I'm buying does, apparently when you're thrashing it, does 9 to the gallon. So can you imagine what an RS5 would do at a 4 litre engine? You're talking about 6 to the gallon, if that. I mean, that's a true guzzler. So, with the American cars, I mean, that's why the American cars don't really hit off in the UK. They're really nice to look at and stuff, but they've got fucking 8 litre engines in it and stuff and like that. And the petrol over in the UK is ridiculously expensive. A lot cheaper over where you are, and like just 8 litre engine. You wouldn't make it to the garage. You'd fill up and just make it home, and then not make it back to the garage. Do you know what I mean? So
hey, on the bright side,
that's why the American cars don't hit it off over it.
I got a diesel truck. It's a V6, but it's a good truck here in the Philippines. 2015.
Yo, Gonzalo, I bought my truck for $600. It's a 95 Chevy, and it's still kicking. $600. I've had the fucking thing since I come home from Florida, which was 3 years and some change ago.
Them Chevys are nice, man. I was looking at them the other day, Johnny, but the engines on them though, they're just fucking, they're 5, 6 litre, 5.8 litre, 7 litre. Too fucking big for me, man.
I just meant I got my money's worth out of the old girl.
All right, guys, we gotta move on here. Kel Brook, my dream fight is an Errol Spence rematch. He says, if I could have my dream fight, it would be an Errol Spence rematch. He says he's willing to go back down to welterweight for a meaningful fight or a world title fight. Same shit. And then he says, I've never been as driven. I've never been as focused in my whole career as I am now. Do you guys believe what Kel Brook is saying, or is he just bullshitting you?
I think he's just selling, and not to change. I think he's just selling us a fucking the hooker with the heart of gold here, Buccio. But I fucking, but and not to change.
Do you want me to translate it for you?
Yeah.
Sure.
I've spent all my money that I got for getting me ass whooped from Spence and Golovkin. I've took a break from the cocaine. I'm a bit skint, so I'm back.
Not to change the subjects or anything, but did y'all hear the good news or the bad news rather?
About what?
I don't know. Ramirez Postal's off because there's some fucking disease floating around in China there.
Oh, the fight was supposed. Okay, what does that have? The fight was in China.
Yeah, it's supposed to happen next weekend, Buccio.
I didn't even know it's in China. This is how disconnected I am.
Coronavirus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Well, that's a good. I mean, God, yeah, of course, that makes sense. Why would you? Man, did you see these people eating bats and shit?
Fuck around, go there and lose your title and come back with the coronavirus.
Yeah.
It's just shitty. I was looking.
I have the coronavirus. I have the coronavirus.
Well, I just wouldn't order a fucking extra dish of bat soup. should be all right.
Jimmy.
You know what I mean?
Hey,
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
They got it. They got it here in the Philippines now. There's here in General Santos, about 50 kilometers from where I'm at. There's somebody sick already.
No
The
shit.
president will just shoot him.
Burn the body, imagine.
I hate the police.
That's fucking crazy,
Fuck
man.
around the
Did
Philippines.
you guys see the videos? People collapsing and like in shit. It's like, what the hell is going on, man? Like a post-apocalyptic type of shit going on over there.
They're gonna wake up, become zombies for meth, and fucking start slaughtering them.
Imagine.
It's just a
It
shame.
wouldn't be a surprise if that's some fucking Chinese government man-made disease to cool the population. I mean, let's be real, they breed like fucking rabbits over there, don't they? So
Yeah, but they also eat
that would-
whatever they can get
wouldn't
their
surprise me.
hands on. They eat anything,
Huh?
man, and they eat anything they can get their
Oh,
hands on.
do you know
They
they're
eat it.
fucking savages? I got no time for them. Sorry if that makes me racist, and
Oh, God.
sign me up. I don't
Eat
fucking
dog,
like it. The way they treat
Kahlua.
dogs and the way they kill animals, they're fucking savages. And you know what? It was a good job the Japs were fucking spent hundreds of years whooping their ass. That's one good thing
Well,
the Japs have done.
Just 100 years. China used to be the whooping Japan, basically, economically. But the views and opinions expressed are those of the guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of BDA boxing. There you have it.
You tell,
I was
you
gonna
tell
say,
me, hey, you
BDA
tell me when. Hey, hang on a minute. You tell me when the last time China whooped Japan in a war.
Oh,
Tell
not
me.
in a war.
Never
but
happened.
trade.
No, well, oh yeah, because they fucking fake their economy. Of course, the Japs. If the Chinese were fucking living by the rules like everyone else, then look. What do the Chinese
That's
invent?
true.
Look what the
But nobody
Japanese
lives by the
invent. What do
rules,
the Chinese
Stu.
invent? They get white man's inventions and make them piss poor cheap to buy all over the world. They flood the market with it, and dodgy steel that fucking collapses under pressure. That's the only thing they do. Get out of here.
Guys, look up the Yulin Dog Festival. You want to get sick? Look up
I
the
know,
Yulin Dog
no,
Festival.
I
It just
can't
finally
watch
got
that shit.
outlawed.
But they said it's a
Jimmy,
vi-
please,
yeah,
man, I
but
don't want to talk
No,
about
it's still not even outlawed. I'm sorry.
it's a village,
Jimmy,
I
please,
think, that
man. That's
does
one
it. But it's,
subject I will
yeah.
not be speaking about on it. As a dog lover, them fucking savages. I mean, I can't talk about that stuff. So
I got,
move on.
yeah, dude, I hear you there, brother. I got 3 myself. They're like family to me. I can't, I watch shit like that and I just fucking want to go up in a clock tower and start fucking capping off anybody with a Mo haircut.
Oh,
So
Let's put
But
a
I mean, they all got
disclaimer
the
up
same
again.
haircut. They all look like Mo from the Three Stooges.
oh, Jesus.
Mo.
The views and opinions expressed are those of the guest.
I'm just fucking. Hey, listen,
Listen to these fags in the chat. Oh, Stu's too emotional. Oh, yeah, all right. I don't give a fuck. At least I keep it real. At least I got the bollocks you lot. Hide
Keeping
behind
it
some
real.
purple picture and never come on, never ring in, just gutless, spineless. But you're the answer to everything, ain't you? You guys, you're the answers. You have them all. Get out of here, man.
White
I'll say
versus
what I want.
Andy
Facts.
Ruiz. Dylan White against Andy Ruiz in serious talks, but Povetkin is a front runner. So apparently Dylan White might be facing Povetkin. There was rumors that he was going to fight Andy Ruiz. They're still working on that fight, says Eddie Hearn, but it looks like Dylan White will be fighting Povetkin. What do you guys think about that fight?
I think there's more gossip, rumors, and innuendo in the fucking heavyweight division than prepubescent teen girls. It's fucking insane, man. You know what I mean? If one fight out of 10 that they talked about actually happened, that division wouldn't suck so bad. I just can't get into that division. That's all it ever ends up being is talk. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's true. I mean, you got
I
Dylan
think-
White. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. One last thing. I was going to mention about the other subject. I talked to Robert Garcia. He said that he couldn't give me a good reason why the fight was happening in Japan and China, other than Bob Arum got a 3-fight deal over there. Yeah, this fight to fight over there in the future. This fight, I think Povetkin got a good gas tank. What is he, 41 now? He's got a good gas tank. He showed it against a much younger cruiserweight. They went up to heavyweight. I mean, that guy's going to have like good hand speed. He showed it against that guy going the distance. I think he won that fight. It was a close fight. So Povetkin's older, but he's still looking pretty good. So, yeah, this would be a good fight because Dillian White came in at like 280 or 270, I think. So he's got to really whip himself into shape if he wants to make it into a competitive fight against Povetkin. I would favor White, but it'd be kind of a toss-up for me.
Toss-up? He did. Yeah, you're right. I mean, Hunter, who was it that
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
Marcus Watch fought White, and he came in at like 270 or 280, but he's a tall guy. But anyhow, he was a fat version of Dillian White. If he really was expecting to like do well against Povetkin, who was 41, he's still in pretty good shape because he showed us against Hunter. Hunter is a young man that used to be a cruiserweight, so those guys bring speed and mobility. And he went toe to toe with that guy. So I mean, if White is expecting to win this fight, him being most likely the favorite, he's really got to whip himself into shape. That's one thing for sure.
Yeah, he's gonna be. It's gonna be a tough fight. It's gonna be a tough fight, and both guys come forward. They're aggressive, so it would be a very interesting fight. I still would pick Dillian White to win it though, just because the other guy's 41, and he does get rocked now. He's getting rocked lately. So
who's he fighting?
No, I mean if Dillian White, apparently he might be fighting Povetkin. Dillian White,
a good
Povetkin.
fight.
Yeah.
Hey, Bucho, it's on my mind before I fucking slip too. I just want to put it out there, you guys remember. But I mentioned fucking. I just wanted to say on how just disgusted I am with the Charlo brothers, and on top of that, even Hurd, man. I used to be kind of a fan of Hurd. That fight tonight, the fact that he's dragging up Akito's lost 3 of his last 4 fucking fights from welterweight division. He coming off to what some consider the fight of the year. Instead of grabbing that momentum, he goes full on PBC and takes almost a year off, and then comes back with some dreg, and then has the stones to say, "Yeah, I looked back. I was in 2 fucking really tough fight, back and forth fight of the year. I want to be involved in some one-sided fights for a while." So think about it. If this clown's fighting once or twice a year, so you're basically saying next 2 or 3 years, people are supposed to pay attention to your career, where you just fucking line up no-hopers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, dude? It's so disgusting. It's like this fuck a comment like that. I think about look at Mickey was involved in. I think he won back-to-back fight of the years, 2001, 2002, and he was up for the runners in 2000. He came in, I think, second. So that was 3 in a year. But that was between the other fucking brawls he was in. It's just it's mind-boggling to hear these fucking clowns. And again, he fought Lara. And he fought Lara, who he can hit, but he's not got concussive power. And then he fought fucking Julius J-Rock, who's more of a technician than he is. He's gonna beat you with multitude of punches. Doesn't have one punch power either. So what the fuck you talking about, dude? And the fact that honestly, bro, shit like that. When I see shit like that, it's getting sometimes, dude. I think if it wasn't for you guys and just the camaraderie of fucking other boxing fans, I don't even know if I'd still be following this shit anymore. To be totally honest with you, I'm getting like, don't want to sound like that guy, but this fucking sport sucks compared to what it did even 20 years ago.
How come we're still here, man? After all these years, man. Sometimes I ask myself the same question: why are we still here, man? Seriously, and you, Jimmy, you've been longer here in the sport, watching the sport than all of us, and you're still like that. Just shows you that you actually love the sport of boxing, man.
Yeah. When I took 10 years, I did bail in 2004. No, 2003. It was a couple of years right after Mickey's second fight with him, and then some other shit. I just was like burnt. I was done, and I literally, I didn't watch Pacquiao fight. I didn't watch any of it until 2005. My last fight was Ricky Haddon at Boston Garden when he fought that Spanish kid. Then I just took fucking years off.
This Butcho, and that's why I say you got to at least top rank in the zone, both of them, not one or the other, but both of them. At least they're trying to put the best fights together, that they have with the guys that they have. At least they're making the attempt to, These fucking guys at the PBC. What do you want me to do? Fucking give you a fucking hand job for showing up once a year to fight a turd? The fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why boxing, mate. Boxing's a sport. It's very hard to build a channel on boxing because we're getting fed scraps to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know Fury Wilder's happening, but fuck me, look at the shit we had to watch before that happened again. I mean, Fury fighting them bums and Wilder.
Why did we have to wait that long? Why did we have to wait a year? Why did we have to see Wilder against Brazil and against Ortiz again? Why did we have to watch Fury fight Wallin and all these other guys? Like, come on, man.
And the thing. Look, like Johnny was saying. Look, Johnny. you got to pick up the momentum, right? With the PVC, this is why you have a tune-up. You have a tune-up so you can prepare yourself to have a big fight. If you want to have an excuse, okay, or like you want to justify a tune-up, you have the tune-up to have the big fight. So once you have the big fight, you pick up the momentum and you have another big fight. So so you get in shape, you win a good fight, then you're prepared to take on tougher competition because you're already there.
Yeah,
but no.
Well,
yeah,
and that's why I've been fucking, on Danny Garcia so hard lately because, dude, you lost a close fight to Thurman, took a year off. They dug Brandon Rios up from the grave, knocked him out, took another year off, and now you're fighting this fucking guy. No disrespect to the kid, he just hit the fucking lottery, but it's just I can't. I'm not gonna fucking it would kill. The killer part is in the build up to this fucking fight, if that's what you want to call it. He's talking about Spence and he's talking about Thurman and he's talking about Pacquiao. Well, that's all well and good, but look who you're fighting, bro.
It's the PBC's fucking mantra. What they do is they dangle it out here, right? They keep you fucking, dangle out the possibility of good fights, and then they fucking give you shit. I mean, look at a lot of it's financial because he doesn't have the money. He needs cross promotions, but he refuses to do it. All right, Charlo, man, prime example. This dude's at 30 professional fights, man. He at the end of the last 4 or 5 fights, he's got a microphone in his fucking mouth and he's screaming, "Where you at, Canelo? Where you at, Andre?" Fucking Eddie Hearn gave him a fucking contract, a one-off, $7 million to fight him on DAZN, and he said no because in his excuse was as laughable as his fucking resume because I don't want to fight on a tiny platform in front of a small audience or some fucking variation of the theme like that. It's like, you a fucking clown show, dude. Canelo Jacobs pulled 1.2 million viewers. So shut the fuck up. Apps are the way of the future. It's this fucking insane dogma they have to this man that none of them ever even met. Most of them haven't even met, probably even talked to. They have a proxy through Floyd and fucking Watson. It's just nuts. It's really getting me. I'm telling you, honestly, I tell some man that was for this show, I'd honestly probably hang it up for a while. I'd come back to it if it was worth it. But like what I'm looking at right now, what I look at in the future, I mean, yeah, we got Fury Wilder, but Wilder, I mean, Fury's fucking, his athleticism and the way he moves for a big man is astonishing. I'll credit him that. But that motherfucker puts me to sleep when he fights. And it ain't from power.
The knockout, Jimmy, the knockout. What about the knockout? The knockout, Jimmy. Come on.
In the second round. Come on, you know what I mean, dude? Then that's it. That's another thing. Don't talk to me like I'm a fucking moron, dude. Who do you think you're talking to? You fucking half-wit fucking second round. You know what I mean? Come on. It's just fucking, I'm sick of being like fucking bending over and they're hitting me with that paddle. Can I have one more, sir? Like a fucking Animal House. You know what I mean?
It wouldn't surprise me with Fury if he fucking did land one on the button because he's so unpredictable. I don't think he knows what he's going to do himself. So let's be real, Wilder is vulnerable.
He's getting knocked the fuck out.
I know his chin's not as bad as people say, but the guy defensively is very vulnerable. And I think if you can put it on him early, I think that's the best way to get Wilder. Get him early, I think.
Get him in. He's got to get in his head.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of letting him pace around at his own pace and letting him pick his shots. He's going to catch
exactly. Get him angry, tie-ups, give him a shoulder to the chin. If the ref's on your right side, plus the ref's going to be so much shorter than you.
Give McGregor shoulder to the nose, like one of them.
Exactly, dude. I'm telling you, get him. Listen, you get that dude angry. That's why the ref's jumping in, grabbing him out. He's knocked people out, and he's still swinging like some fucking zipperhead at the Elks Club at 2 a.m. It's fucking, you know what I mean? He's so emotional. You can get that dude off his fucking whatever game plan he has. Get in his head, get him angry. A couple of low ball shots, a couple of elbows, a couple of rakes across the face with your forearm and a break.
I told you guys, one thing about Wilder, boxing IQ very low. We know that. But he does learn eventually. I think he knows what he did wrong in that last fight. I think that makes him more dangerous, his fight.
Of course
the fact that he's playing calm and collective, is more worrying because he's saving energy. Before he was acting like a fucking clown, getting involved with race debates and stuff, and then flying off the handle with Radio Raheem.
Guys, hold on. I just need to Dirt and Boxing. Thank you for your contribution. He says, "Let's burn this motherfucker down. Burn it all down." I think he's talking about boxing because we're talking about how fed up we are with the sport. Go ahead, Johnny boy.
You know, I'm not sorry, Pucho, but I was just gonna say, I'm still torn, and I've watched the first fight a couple of times about who I'm picking in that motherfucker. I'm not gonna bullshit you because, you know, the thing is, bro, like I know Fury can win. You know, he's gonna outbox the shit out of him. But the thing is, he's got to be good for for fucking round 1 to round 12. Wilder's only got to be good for a half a second. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you gotta. You just can't keep Wilder busy because he's gonna punch through your punches. You gotta put enough steam behind them to to prevent Wilder from setting up that right hand.
Look, make him know that there's fucking a price to placing your feet.
Because you're not keeping him busy. The only thing you're doing, he's just waiting to land that right hand. He's pretending that you're keeping him busy. He's acting like, oh, your punches are holding me up. But no, he's just trying to get a good read so he can punch it between your pity pat punches.
Well, listen,
you got to put enough steam. Yeah, go ahead, Stu.
Sorry, Gonzalo, but you've got to, with Wilder, you've got to, like I said, put it on him early, and you've got to hurt him early because, like I said, he's very negative anyway. Like I said, he sort of freezes when he gets caught with shots, you know, and we've seen it as well when the way he reacts to feints. You know, he reacts to feints, and because we've seen it, especially with the Spilker fight. I mean, he was all over the place. His feet was all over the place. He was lunging out of range. He was throwing at the wrong times. Just totally everything you shouldn't do in a boxing ring. And I think he knows that. So when the feints are coming, he's not reacting like he did. He's just doing nothing. And that's the problem. So you've got to put him in his shell where, even though he's not busy, he does even less. And I think you've got to get in his mind. I think if you let him stroll around the ring like Ortiz was, just throwing a couple of shots here and there, he's going to wait his time and he's going to eventually land that big right hand. Because let's be real, 36 minutes is a long time. You keep pressing the fucking button, one's going to fucking land, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah, you got to put enough power to destabilize his footwork where he's not planting his feet to punch back. And after you destabilize him, try to hurt him and knock him out.
Yeah.
And now also DSG, is he fighting tonight too, right? He's fighting another scrub, right?
Jimmy. Yeah, he's fighting. And by the way, Jimmy, this is what Danny Garcia said. He said, I'd like to have 3 to 4 fights per year, but it's not that easy, he says.
Yeah.
Like, why is he saying this now? Why wasn't he saying this way back, though?
Well,
because he might be out of... Yes?
Jimmy, that's what I was just getting at. I says, well, you're talking about Spence and Thurman rematch and Pacquiao and all these guys, and look who you're fighting, bro. Like, the fuck out of here with this nonsense.
2013, he fought fucking Matisse. Before that, he beat up a shell of Morales. And Matisse was on the way out then, too. You know, he would already hit his crescendo. All right? And that was 7 years ago.
Jeez,
you know what I mean?
I had Herrera, and I had him losing to Herrera and Ashley Theophane. I had him losing them fights.
He definitely lost to Herrera. I had him. Everybody had him losing to Herrera. He was booed off the island.
Yeah.
Literally booed off the island. You know what I mean?
Was, man.
And fucking, so, I mean, he's just, and my God, he's so easy to fucking, he's got his feet in cement. He's a prodding hooker. That's all he's got is that left hook. You go to his fucking, just go to his left. I mean, right. Go to his right. Keep going to the right, snapping your jab out. And the minute he crosses over his feet, and they're so entrenched in cement, you could just crack on him. I wish I could train someone to fight him. Oh my God, he's so easy. His rhythm is always the same. Just watch him tonight. Watch his rhythm. Just time it in your head.
Jimmy. Yeah. Jimmy, you see, Red Cash has got good speed. Yeah, that'd be it's going to be an interesting fight. Watch. It's not going to be a total blowout. Mark my words.
Well, and even fucking Lamont would have beat him if he would have started boxing prior to round 6. Because in the second half of that fight, Peterson was beating the shit out of Danny Garcia, bro.
Listen, Danny's a tough Puerto Rican from Philly. That kid has granite chin. There's no doubt. I don't think anybody. I'd be hard pressed to knock him out, but you can frustrate him. You can get him winded. He doesn't throw a lot of punches to begin with. You know what I mean? And all you have to do with Danny is just change pace, change the speed of your punches, change your angles a few times. He's very easily confused. He's prodding. He can't cut you off for shit. He waits for you to miss or fall in love with a combination.
Yeah.
And also,
how he catches people.
Danny
he
Garcia
seems like
is one
he's
of
a
them fight-
part-time boxer now. He's not fully dedicated to the sport.
Danny Garcia
Really?
is one of them fighters where he's one of them fighters where I miss more fights of his than I watch. I don't get any excitement when his name is on the bill. You know, it's not. I'm not sitting there thinking, "Oh, how am I going to stay up till 4:00 in the morning to watch this thriller?" I'm sitting there fighting it, and the more I think about Danny, the more my eyes start to close. I mean, let's be real.
Are we being too harsh on Danny
2015 when
Garcia?
What's that?
Are we being too harsh on Danny Garcia?
No.
Like we're
All
talking
right, be objective. Be objective. Look at his resume since 2013. Fucking Uber driver, fucking beer concession stand dudes. I mean, nobody's. And then little guys, too. Always little dudes. Or he's bringing somebody up. In the fucking 2 times he stepped up to competition when he fought Thurman and he fought Porter. He lost both those fights. And again, a rusty Thurman. That Thurman fucking fight, that Thurman Garcia fight. What a fucking sloppy boo fest. Remember fucking, by the 5th round, they started booing.
The only time fights Danny's been in is the one he's got his ass whooped in. Like the Zab Judah fight. He honestly got the nod, but he was getting his ass whooped. Lamont Peterson was beating the brakes off him. You know, so they're the most exciting fights he's been in. Maybe the Amir Khan fight, but let's be real, he was getting pieced up in that until he landed that left hook. But that was just all about, you know, it was all about spamming the fucking button. That was just keep pressing the left hook button, and one's going to land eventually on the fucking paper mache chin of Amir Khan.
And Stu, and to add to that, Stu, Zab Judah was 52 when he fought him too. On top of that,
Yeah. It was a tough fight, man. And
This was a Zab Judah fight. This was a Zab Judah that was showing ways out of fights at the time. You've only got to look at the Amir Khan fight. You try to get out of that one. He was always moaning and whining and just stinking the joint out. The end of Zab's career was quite poor. And like I said, when he fought Danny, I mean, he looked like fucking Pernell Whitaker in there, didn't he? I mean, you know.
Well, you know what I'm really curious?
That tells you what you need to know about Danny.
A lot's going to be determined when the PBC and Fox declares their budget, or the schedule hasn't been. They haven't, you know, sent out their schedule yet for this coming year, calendar year. I haven't heard nothing. I've been, you know, checking, you know, regularly, because I'm curious if Espinosa sinks the same kind of money in, because then it'll be relying just on Fox. And as you can see, look at, you got Haney, you had Teofimo Lopez, you have even Andy Garcia. I know a lot of guys hate him, but Ryan Garcia, Stevenson, Shakur Stevenson, none of these guys, young Americans or young prospects, are signing with the fucking Al Haymon. You know what I mean? They're all going to other places. Eventually, it's just going to weigh in on itself. He's going to eventually have to, and I don't give a shit what anybody says, it's his fucking promotional company marking up the works. Giovanni Davis, they were actually trying to push him in the next fight to be a pay-per-view. A pay-per-view for what? He sold out 2/3 of an arena in Atlanta? I mean, okay. Oh my God, think about it. I said it before. If fucking Lomachenko fought in an American city of 500,000 people and 53% of them were Ukrainian, do you think he would have only sold out 2/3 of the arena? Please, be standing room only. So they're using that as the spring pole. Also, no, he needs a fucking pay-per-view against who? Another fucking absolute dude for retired today. Who would give a fuck? Leo Santa Cruz. Imagine they're actually contemplating the pay-per-view. They put it out there just to see what it is. Of course, that certain, you know, demographic who's just all over it. Yo, that's the shit tank. Are you kidding me? It's an embarrassment. It truly is.
I think the most energy you get out of Leo Santa Cruz is when he fucking smiles with that grin. I mean, he just goes to the ring. All right, he's throwing punches, but I don't know what it is about Leo Santa Cruz. Very, very good fighter. There's no doubt in that. You can see that, but he's just not exciting.
About momentum.
Even the Mexicans don't even like watching this guy fight. They don't. And I mean, how many
Stu.
real fans has Leo Santa Cruz got?
No, I was gonna say you were talking about momentum way back earlier when they started the show, and it's true. Like, remember, he had a momentum going, Leo Santa Cruz, and it stopped all of a sudden, man. After those Frampton fights, he just disappeared off the map, man. Fighting Mares twice, nobody wanted to see him against Mares. Okay, maybe once, but then fighting him again. Like, what was that about?
I'm surprised they hadn't dug up Vic Darcinian and put him in there with him.
Because it is Bucho. They have no choice. They can't make a fight unless they're going to make it on themselves, pay for it themselves, put it on Facebook. They have no options because there's only so many time slots in all those Haymon fighters. Think about it. When he first started the PBC, he had 243 fighters under contract. There's no way he could still have that many.
Yeah,
where are they all?
And you know what's funny with all the inactivity and the lack of momentum for Leo Santa Cruz, he still has been able to manage his career where he just picked up a 4th title in a different division. It just shows you the state of the game.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, and then he jumps around picking off the easiest perceived opponent. It's just it's like it's same thing Broner did, same thing Mickey Garcia did. But there's any of those people? Listen, that used to be a fucking shoo-in Hall of Fame. You got 4 titles in 4 divisions, you were in the Hall. Tell me any of these guys who've won 4 divisions in the last 5 years deserve a Hall of Fame.
It goes to show you how much of a joke boxing is. You say Adrian Broner, is he a Hall of Famer? Most people tell you no. And then you tell them, you know he won 4 belts in 4 different weight classes. They're like, oh, I had no idea. Like,
the only list he should be on is FBI's most wanted. I mean, let's be real, that guy is nowhere near the fucking Hall of Fame. He's an absolute clown. And let's be real, I had him losing to Ponce de Leon. I had him lose a couple of other fights. Can't remember now because back of the mind with Broner, innit? He goes in there, gets beat up for 12 rounds, collects his paycheck, and goes and spends and acts like a clown for fucking 6 months, and he's back again.
He's begging for $10 on Instagram. Yo, he's literally begging for $10 on Instagram.
$10, man, Jesus,
bro.
Who's that? Who's begging for $10?
Broner.
Oh, what a fuck! He's a clown. He is just such a clown. Hey, what about fucking? I kind of like Julian, but I read some militant shit he said recently, involved with the fucking some Muslims he's involved with in Philadelphia. I heard some shit about them, but anyways, very disturbing point of view on white people. Let me put it that way. The group he's associated with.
Throw him under the bus. Throw him under the bus.
Does any of that shit surprise you anymore?
No, but I was kind of hurt because he comes across, and he was talking about fucking what's his name's mother just passing away, hers mother. I'm like, seems like a nice kid, but then I was told by some people who are very fucking familiar with the Philadelphia scene. He's a black dude too, and he's like, nah, dude, that Muslim crew he runs with. And then I looked it up, and it was pretty gross. But anyways, I'm kind of liking the fact. Listen, that kid Rosario, I don't know if you guys saw his loss against Gillum. That he just was.
He was 21 when that happened. He was just 21.
What's that?
He was only 21 when he lost.
Only 21. He was basically training himself, and he was fucking. I guess got unbelievable fucking power. And if you watch that fight, he was reckless. He was hurting that fucking kid. He was also fighting a bigger dude. He was fighting a middleweight. You know what I mean? And 160. And that's the kid he lost. And so J-Rock handpicked that dude, and he's not with Al Haymon either. He's kind of an independent right now. I'm sure fucking Top Rank's all over him. But that's good because that's another belt out of the PBC. I just want to see them all out of the PBC because it's just a cancer. Bob Adams, right, man.
In a nutshell, this is what the PBC have. And I got to say something about Broner. In a nutshell, here's what they have. Wilder and the welterweights, bro. In a nutshell. But fucking dude, Broner just settled a court case for some sexual assault type shit. He just paid $800 and some grand. $850,000. Hold on, Stu. And then on top of that, he almost got in trouble because he was hollering at that little 15-year-old on social media. The dude's a fucking piece of shit.
Listen, give him 30 years, he'll be the next Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
You can go up to old tweets, that app. You can go and look up fucking on my tweet. I tweeted 3 years ago, it's not going to end well for this kid. He will serve serious time. There's not even a question. It's just a matter of question. Just seriously, dude, I'm just being straight up. Listen, he has too much disrespect I mean, did you see fucking Giovanni? How many times they got him photographed in a pair of handcuffs? Now I've seen 3 different incidents now where he's with Mayweather. He's exed out in front of some liquor store in handcuffs. And he's in front of his car one night in handcuffs. He was in Baltimore in handcuffs.
Who? What?
You know what I mean?
Tank Davis? Yeah.
Yeah, and he's you know what I mean. It's just I'm telling you, Brona is his fucking kid he hangs with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, you are who your friends are, bro.
That's right.
So it's listen, you know. Then you hear like people defended him on Twitter, which I don't even really go on anymore. It's just so fucking vile. But people, but fucking Haymon looks out. You know, when kids tweet me, but just top rank, get off of fucking 401ks or give advice. I said, wait a minute. So you're thinking because Al, say if there's a couple of $1 million, what he might do, a lot of guys do, and I'm sure Al does it. Hey, listen, I'll pay you 1.4 now, but what we're going to do is we're going to fucking defer your payment until 40 years old. That way you'll have money, right? And I'm sure they're like, no problem. Problem is, if the company goes belly up before they turn 40, their money's gone. But a lot of guys defer fucking payments for later. And so when it's tweeted out how he sets these guys up for later in life, I'm thinking, so what do you think? He's taking money out of his pocket? No, he's deferring their payments. But what happens if the PBC or Haymon Boxing LLC bellies up? You think he's going to go to his mother's house in Cleveland and get that money?
You know what's sad, bro? You know what's sad? Look, I bet you a guy like myself has more money than Adrian Broner. Like I'm willing to bet money on it. Like I'm willing to bet what he has, which is probably nothing, versus what I got, and I bet you I got more money than him. And that's just like a year's work, working 40 hours, you know, that kind of shit. While he could make, like in terms of bulk, he probably made more money, but he probably spend all of it. That a dude like myself, and there's plenty of guys like you know, old school guys that just got a little bit saved up, you know what I'm saying, and fucking invested in some property, and that property's making them some money. That got more money than him. I bet you there's plenty of guys.
Rent me an apartment. Recognize when I go back to the States. I need a place to stay.
What? Wait, what do you say?
Keep going.
Well,
I think he thinks you have like apartments or something.
You don't have if Adrian Broner was your buddy, he wouldn't be able to help you because he literally got no money.
Gonzalo, you can stay in Recognized Warehouse where he's got all the CDs.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, after you come from to Massachusetts, I have a place for the rent.
Here's my point of bringing that up. He's a guy no different than any of us here. Okay? My point is, he had a lifetime opportunity to make a difference. A lifetime. Like, he could have saved that money and just live a simple, disciplined lifestyle. Not like a super, ultra disciplined lifestyle, just a simple one. But what does he do? He gets girls pregnant. He gets in trouble. He puts his name out there like, oh, look at me robbing the bank. It's me. Hi. You know, cops, you don't have to look any further. I'm right here.
He's flushing hundreds. He flushed thousands of dollars down the toilet one time in Vegas on an Instagram video.
He flushed that fucking done.
Like $2,400. It was like, I think it was $2,400. He threw it in the toilet and some girls were giggling and they flushed it. I'm thinking, so like, there's not Children's Hospital anywhere nearby, you dense clown. Like you embarrassed me.
They believe that he was born with a bad rap just because he's black, but meanwhile he's getting hundreds of thousands, even $1 million paydays, and he's flushing it down the toilet with some dirty bitches that'll fuck anybody,
and then begging for $10 on Instagram,
and then begging for $10. Like
Adrian Broner is such a fucking dumbass. He's the sort of guy that go and rob a bank and lift his balaclava off his head when he gets in there. I mean, this is the sort of fucking clown he is. So, you know, it's a matter of time before he's the next Ja Rule in prison.
Broner's like cringy to me, being a fellow Puerto Rican, right? Like, I don't really get into all that stuff, but like, if I wanted to, like, Danny's kind of cringy. He's nowhere near as bad as Adrian Broner, and I'd be like, yo, and imagine, like, Danny Garcia, to me,
at least he invests, right? Recognize he got his little barber shop.
When I hear him talk, he kind of like makes me feel bad.
Who are you talking about?
Danny.
At least Danny Garcia got his little barber shop and his little investments to where he.
Yeah, no, I guess Danny Garcia outside of boxing is supposed to be an alright kid. I guess he doesn't really drink. He doesn't party too much. He's made a lot of investments.
Like he's actually
out of all those clowns. Yeah, he's the one who's doing. Yeah, he's doing right outside the fucking ring.
He's okay, but look, I find when he talks, he's a little cringy. I have to admit, like he is.
Dude, he come on, dude. Listen, he'd be lucky to get a license in some states. You know what I mean?
No,
he might not let him have children.
It's the ignorance that comes out of his mouth. It's kind of ignorant.
Dude, he could probably get on that show born this way.
But he's nowhere near as bad as AB. What I'm trying to say is, like, sometimes I see people defending him just on color lines. I'm like, yo,
people
from people like that.
Some people are getting sorry, but some people are getting pissed off because we're shitting on Broner basically, and some people are like, no, don't do it.
Look. Let me put it to you like this.
Okay.
It don't matter if Broner was white, black, Mexican, Puerto Rican, none of that. He'd still be a fucking clown.
He'll be a clown with that mentality.
But to anybody getting upset, right? All I'd say to them is defend his actions. Defend him groping somebody's girlfriend in the mall. Never mind you're a professional fighter and this dude's a civilian and you're groping his woman in the mall to the point where they arrest
that guy,
you.
I want to know what guy that is.
Defend that shit.
I want to know who that
Mickey
guy is because that guy's a chump. That little motherfucker does that to me. I'm killing him right there on the spot.
Dude, and the thing is, it was a little dude. It was just a little dude.
Go out the window once I hit this motherfucker one time. That's it.
And he was a little dude too. It wasn't like he walked up to some big dude did his good. No, I'm talking about the guy Broner did it to.
Jimmy, he's the size of a girl.
No, I'm talking about the guy Broner did it to.
Oh, the guy.
I'm talking about he chose his victim. Yeah, dude, he picked the guy smaller than him to do it to his girl. That's my point.
He's a pussy.
He wasn't gonna do it to somebody your size, dude. Come on.
I would look at him and call him a pussy before he even thought about you, pussy. And he say anything, I'll smack the fucking shit out of him. That's what would happen.
This guy,
bro. See if
he
was the dude that.
Hello.
Oh, sorry, Bucho.
Dominic Brown says this guy recognizes he's the toughest, richest guy in the world.
I ain't rich. I'm not rich. Especially on that.
Dominic Brown.
But I have more money than AB. That's for sure.
Bro, if Broner was to do that to me, he just grab a hold of my woman and fucking grope her up in the mall. This is what I would do. This is exactly what I would do. Because I'm not even gonna shoot the fair one with you at that point, bro. I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna walk off, grab the closest supplement I could find, and hit you in the fucking head with it, bro. Like that's what's gonna happen.
Guys, is he mentally ill? Like seriously, I'm not. I mean, not
yes.
stupid. No, he's just stupid.
Listen, he had 9 brothers and sisters. His father was in and out of prison. He was raised in a completely corrupt, violent neighborhood. He's a reflection of his surroundings. It's not even really his fault. And then you have that. So then you already have a kid who's, by his own admission, super ADHD in heightened school. They couldn't keep him down, right? So he's all riddled up. He's a good boxer. And then once you realize to the point where he's good enough at 10, 11 years old, where people are saying, you're going to make money from this motherfucker. Now he's never told no. Now he's already looked at the mail ticket. Then he starts really making a name for himself in the images. So on top of that, now he's on top of saying no. He's got surrounded by yes men. So you take that with lack of impulse control. Fucking his moral compass is so screwed up he couldn't find his asshole with a map, and then fucking give him money. It's a recipe for disaster.
Are you guys saying that Errol Spence Jr. should stay away, and every other boxer should stay away from Adrian Broner?
Yes, he's a piece of shit, and he's a bad influence, bro.
Yeah, they're not really friends.
John
he said it himself.
John said I'd go to the 95 Chevy and grab the tire iron. Nah, bro, I would just like walk up in one of the stores, grab the register drawer out of it, and then just hit him over the. Remember when Tony?
I just reach around my waistband.
Oh.
Yeah, I just grabbed my belt off and choked the fuck out of him, bro. Fuck yeah.
The thing with Adrian Broner that strikes me kind of strange is, in as far as his boxing career, he doesn't have a real weight class. He can't make 140. He's not naturally 147 pounds.
Yeah, he's fucked. He should have stayed at 140. He never really fought there, but yeah, go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I was just gonna say, man, and no bullshit. People can get angry. I mean, I literally feel more sorry for him than I do anything else. because who was there to guide his career? Even if Al Haymon told him the right things, again, look at the environment. Everything's environment, who you are surrounded with. I mean, do you think, and then it's the old adage, you take these kids, you make them millionaires. It's not like they're moving into fucking, fucking crazy rich, suburban neighborhoods and joining the country club. They go back to their environment. Now they have money. And now they're going to, you know what I mean? They're picking up the drinks. And
but what do you suggest?
I've seen it personally a bunch of times. I've seen it myself a bunch of times, personally.
But what do you suggest, though? I mean,
I saw Dickie, man. We were all telling Dickie right when he got that money, he come out from, he went and cashed it the next day, and he was walking around with it. Fucking dude, he's nuts. He walking around like $500,000.
Shit.
It was crazy. I forget how much he had, but dude, it was crazy. It was just nice.
At least he's not changing trainers, right? Like Andy Ruiz, he's not throwing his team under the bus.
That's a good point.
Somebody said Al Haymon was behind that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna find out more about that, but I was told Al Haymon was behind that.
What do you think?
Well, I was told that the fucking original people, were saying things counterproductive to Al Haymon's the dogma of the PBC dogma. So they were told to let go. Listen, Al Haymon's ruthless. He's brilliant. I'll shit on him all day. I think he's a cancer to boxing. Disgusting to that aspect, but he's brilliant. He was smart enough to get $500 million of a hedge fund and stupid enough to lose it in fucking 20-something months. But what he fucking, and he's but he's smart in that way. He's got these guys.
All right. What are people saying in the chat over here? I actually supported Aiden Broner against Pacquiao. Okay.
It's hard. It's hard to make the kind of money these guys make, but it's so easy to fucking blow it. Like they're the living examples of that. Like, so I'm thinking to myself, what would make a kid who made like a $4 million payday in one night? What would make him need money? Like asking for $10, and I don't think it's bullshit. I think the dude really does need I'm not saying he needs $10, but he needs like a collection of $10 to make some money.
Recognize. Think about this, brother. Fuck Charlo's biggest payday, $1 million, I believe, right? One of the Charlos. I think it was $1 million, his biggest payday. Now you take 50% tax, all right? I'm sure they deferred some of the money so they don't have to pay that. But regardless, you get Haymon on taxes, you pay your cornerman, you pay everybody the 50, Alice 15. You're probably walking way out off $1 million with 600, 550. All right. When you're 27 years old, man, that seems like a lot of money, but that's gone. And then on top of that, then fucking Charlo, the same dude, that's his high. He just went out and bought from Nick the jeweler $535,000 worth of stones with jewelry. I don't know if you saw that on TMZ. Imagine that, dude. This is like pretty much your net worth. It says on celebrity net worth $1 million. You just spent half of it on fucking.
But isn't this the behavior?
Jockey fucking gets 10 cents on the dollar. Yeah.
But isn't this the behavior of most sports athletes? Like, this isn't just in boxing, right? That this happens in every sport, right?
It's more with boxing, I've noticed. Not with like ice hockey. Those fucking Canadians, they don't spend a dime, them cheap pricks. But no, the Canadians, they usually invest, but they don't make the money like some of the sports. Basketball, a lot of waste.
Yeah. Did you see what that fucking Antonio Brown motherfucker did, bro? He
man,
calling the police, fucking cracking.
Johnny boy, what did he do?
Children.
Johnny boy, what did he do? Because I heard it happened in Hollywood.
This is how it was explained to me. Okay, he's got two houses, right? He's got two houses. One of them's in Cali and the other one's in Florida, and I guess he was paying, or he was gonna pay some company for helping to move his shit from like Cali to Florida or vice versa, or whatever the fuck it was. So he's paying some moving company, or so he was supposed to pay some moving company. They moved his shit from Cali to Florida or vice versa, or whatever. So then when they got done moving the shit, I mean, assuming the guy's got a big crib, so it's, probably a good fucking 4 trips worth of shit they're gonna have to haul back and forth. They get there. And then he just him and his boys beat the fuck out of the dudes who moved his shit for him. That's how it was explained to me. He didn't want to pay him.
Wow.
Some scumbag shit.
So Antonio Brown couldn't afford that, so he beats the dude up.
This is what he does, dude, all the time. Because what happened now that he has millions of Instagram followers, this is, swear to God, he actually said this in court, and it was in court documents. He beat some fucking photographer and artist or somebody else for like $100,000. He beat somebody else for like 20 grand. And what he said was he took pictures with them and posted their name and their business on his Instagram account, which by any standard reason is worth $10,000 in advertising. Swear to God. It was a masseuse he did it to. He did it to a fucking photographer. And that was his excuse. What he would do is take their picture. There was a big article on fucking ESPN about it. Dude, the dude is fucking gone. He called white police officers telling them, look at that car. Don't look at my car, cracker. You could never have a car like that, boy. And his children staring back at him. His 6 and fucking 9-year-old children. It's dude, literally.
Isn't his kids half crackers? Don't he have half crackers?
Yes, the mother's white, but it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I would just look at him and be like, coming from a man who has cracker kids.
Right? Yeah, it's disgusting, dude. Exactly, brother.
You're teaching your kids to hate themselves already? God.
It's just the double standards. I said it like I said it last time on the show. Imagine if that was Tom Brady calling 2 black officers boy and you know, the N-word.
He'll be exiled from America.
He's done. That's it. That's it.
Done. He would be the lead story in every news. They would have trucks. Like when I beat up that pedophile, I had him in front of my house, those vans with those fucking, you know, the satellite dishes going up to the fucking past the trees. They'd be surrounding his house down here in Massachusetts. It would be literally have to leave the country.
And I know when I say this, I know there's certain black people, not all black people, because you can't paint a group like that. And there's plenty of black people that don't like that shit. But I know black people get real upset because they feel they fantasize of being the number one victims of, like, targets of the establishment. You're not even close to being number one. You're like,
you know, exactly. You know who I'm most pissed about his actions? Of the people I know, my circle of friends. I have a couple of black buddies who are fucking like brothers to me. I talk to them all the time. They're the ones who brought to my Donnell. He's still a prison guy. He's been like for 20 years. Nobody fucks with him. He's a badass. But no, Donnell, he's like, that motherfucker. If that was a white boy, you know what the fuck would happen?
He would be out of America.
Dudes. And he says, and it's just disgusting because the media, and it all comes down to politics. They have to drum up racism every 4 years to make sure they get the black vote. Because if they lose even 20% of it to the Republican Party, they're screwed. And right now, polls are saying they got the 30%. Because there's only so many times
guys.
you can hear about what.
The views and opinions expressed are those of the
guys. Right.
I mean, we're getting too much into like.
But these
Jimmy,
are facts,
you know what
man.
I mean. You know what's going on. You know how it works. You know how
I know, dude, but it's just
a guy like AB can continue to be a jerk off and still have paydays. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, if that kid had two fucking brain cells in him, he would have walked off of that Manny Pacquiao fight, which he got $2 million and some change off of that.
We get some.
No, you got off. Recognize.
Deny for himself, in other words.
Yeah, he'd take $2 million and some change, but like I say, if he had one fucking cell in his brain, he would have taken that payday, you know, walked away, cleaned up his act, and lived decent for the rest of his life. He'd have been fine.
In 2016, he turned down $40 million from fucking Rock Nation. $40 million 8-fight deal. He turned it down.
Yeah, because he thought it was about billions. He thought it was about billions, but what he didn't tell us, he was talking about the lira.
Since he turned that down, his purse. Since he turned that $40 million down, his collective purses is just under $11 million. So he's lost so far, in which he'll never make any probably much more. But yeah, so he's lost. He's left on the books. He left on the table right now 20-something million. What, 27 million?
Do you know the sad thing about it? The sad thing about it is we'll just give this fucking clown about 15-20 minutes of our time.
I know.
When he's done nothing to deserve it. Why are we talking about this clown? The guy never turns up on a big fight. Con the public. I mean, this guy's a con artist, but he's actually doing it in front of our faces, and we're still falling for it. You know, he doesn't want it. So he's a clown outside the ring. He's a clown inside the ring. at one time looked like he could be a very good fighter. The talent's there. Is that, let's be real. If you know anything about boxing, you can see that Adrian Broner has a lot of natural talent there. That's why he's got this far, because it's not hard work and dedication, is it? Let's be real. So if he had Floyd's mentality, he could be a very, very good fighter. But unfortunately, he's got Andre Durrell's mentality, and that's why he's always going to be the B-side.
Oh, there's the little hey Bucho, there's the little kid he was trying to holler at, the little 15-year-old. Right there. Yeah. You can tell these fucking dudes. Man, I thought she was grown. Said that's what John Wayne Gacy said too. I thought he was grown. Fuck out of here, man.
He feasted on little dudes his whole career and once he tasted once he got hurt from, it just changed him. Reputable changed him forever when he got hurt by Madonna. You know,
you
look at his resume, they're always little dudes.
You know what really fucking got me fired up? I remember leading into that Pacquiao fight. What was it, about a year ago? When they had the presser, Al Bernstein was up there introducing, and I like Al Bernstein. He's been around for a long, long time, Before I was fucking even born, he was commentating on boxing. And he said, Al Bernstein's introducing these guys. Oh, here's Adrian Broner fighting out of Ohio, and Manny Pacquiao, pride of the Philippines, woo, woo, woo. And Adrian Broner says some shit like, man, I don't want to talk to your bitch ass. I don't want to talk to your bitch ass. Get Stephen A. or Roy Jones to interview you, white motherfucker. Like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? You going to talk shit to a 70-year-old man who's fucking been talking boxing since before he was born, bro? Like, what the fuck is the matter with you, bro?
Well, he said everything there except for white motherfucker, but that was basically what he was insinuating when he said, give me Stephen A. or Roy Jones. You know what I'm saying? Just because, people in the chat might start saying that's not exactly what, you know what I mean? But that's what he insinuated when he said, fucking get out of here, man. I ain't fucking with you. I ain't fucking with you. Get me Stephen A. or Roy Jones asking questions.
Can you remember when Broner was fucking chasing Ricky Burns everywhere looking for a fight? I mean, talk about cherry pick of the century if he'd have got that one. I mean, the guy was a so-called pound-for-pound fighter. He's chasing Ricky Burns all over the place. Can you remember that? I don't know if you guys remember when it was talked about that fight. I mean, that's where we are with Broner.
Of course he was, because Ricky Burns was a smaller dude, right?
He was an easy target, let's be real.
Yeah.
Broner would have bashed Ricky Burns up. There's no doubt about that. He'd have beat Ricky Burns.
Fucking
took that belt off him. And another, like I said, I mean, this 4-weight division champion. I mean, how, when, why? Man. I mean, they're the
First
questions.
Of all, he was a weight bully at 130. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah.
Did he take one of them belts? He took one of them belts off Paulie Malignaggi, I believe, and Malignaggi who beat. Was it Shevchenko? Was it? Hang on a sec, Jimmy. Was it Shevchenko that Malignaggi took?
Some
that
Ukrainian guy. Yeah.
Senchenko, I think his name was.
And
like I said, it was an eye cut. Where Malignaggi took that belt off him, and then this guy can go around calling himself a welterweight champion. It's embarrassing, isn't it? And like I said, I had him losing the De Leon fight. I thought when he fought, who's the Mexican? DeMarco. I think when he fought DeMarco, I thought DeMarco was very overrated at the time. I mean, hearing about what killer DeMarco was.
Almost got murdered a couple of fights before that against Edwin Valero.
He did make Edwin Valero. I remember that fight.
Took his soul away in that fight.
Took his soul away.
Just the way he left the fucking ring after McDonough, man. That told you everything. You know what I mean? Like that. Oh my God, that's what it feels like to get hit.
Guys, go look at him when he's walking out. he's got his mouth open. He's like his head tilted to the side. He's like, damn, I want to.
Because he got his jaw broke.
He's like about to cry. He's like,
yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he never felt pain before. He never got pieced up before in a fight.
Yeah.
The worst thing could have happened to you in a boxing ring when you're a clown and you give it the big one and you pretend you're something you're not, is you get rocked to your boots and you do a fucking Sammy Davis Jr. dance, because you're going to be a meme for the rest of your life. And for fortunate, I mean, he did a Kovalev that night, and all did he, hanging over the fucking ropes. The
leg.
He was a meme, weren't he? He was a meme. But when you look back on that fight, when he started letting his hands go, he was beating Madonna up. You know, he thought he could. The thing is with Madonna, very hard man to outbox because he takes you off your rhythm, he smothers you. Floyd found that out. Floyd's meant to be the best ever in some people's eyes at doing that outboxing brawlers that come forward. He couldn't handle Madonna. he was struggling with Madonna because Madonna brings a different sort of pressure, and Broner wasn't ready for that. And let's be real, he went in there with that lackluster style. I think he could fight on the jab.
It's the same type of pressure that Ponce de Leon put on him.
You see the way? Are you guys looking at that picture the way he looked?
No, I can't see it. So I
see it.
Yeah, I can't see it right now either. I love the Bambi legs. That, like you said, that GIF, that meme with him going back and forth with his legs. He's all
that's when a person he pissed off, like a person like myself who don't like him, right? When he's walking by, I'm like, damn boy, you look like you got your ass whipped.
How is Madonna? Hey, how is Madonna a lot bigger than Broner? I don't see that. Madonna was a 140 fighter. A few fights before that himself. You know, didn't he fought Khan at 140? Madonna's not big.
Madonna he's naturally big. He's got a guy that could put on weight quick.
Yeah, he fills out, but that's not attributes that's going to help you in the boxing ring. That's like filling out. That's meaty sort of filling out.
Yeah, Adrian Broner.
Yeah, it's not like
really
Madonna
too.
Yeah, it's not like Madonna's like. It's not like Madonna's like got the reach on him and he's using the reach and the size. I thought they looked about the same size.
He's a bigger puncher. Yeah, he's a bigger puncher.
You're a bigger man, does it?
You know what?
You're a bigger man, though.
You know what the best part of that?
It doesn't.
About that whole situation was Broner and Maidana. Is Broner was supposed to win that fight. He was supposed to go in there and whip Maidana's ass, bro. Was the best part of that whole fucking situation, and he did everything he could. He was clocking him after the bell, sticking forearms in his face, doing every fucking thing he could, and he still got his ass whooped and his jaw broke.
Yeah, the power surprised him, and that awkward style that Stu was mentioning, same thing as the style that the guy that
listen, Madonna. Sorry, Gonzalo. Sorry, someone in the chat, Bay Area's in the chat saying Madonna skipped 140. I think I remember Madonna fighting at 140. I thought
he did fight at 140.
Who?
He fought
he fought Khan at 140. He fought. Didn't he fight Kotelnik at 140? There was other fight. What guys? What fucking?
What?
It's Baywatch, Bay Area watching. Do you know what I mean? What is he watching, man? Because I remember Madonna fighting at 140. Some of his best fights at 140. So
Maidana.
This isn't directed at anybody else except Bay Area. Yo, Meldrick Taylor beat the shit out of your boy. Go cry.
Are you okay? Are you okay? No response. No response.
Smashed him. Smashed him.
We're gonna have to do another show on that, man. All right, let's like Stu said. Why are we talking about Adrian goddamn Broner? He's over. His career's finished. Hey, but like, do you guys think that the PBC should like have a babysitting program, like I said a few months ago? Because like, let's be honest, some of these fighters, like Jimmy was saying, they're gonna end up broke. But then again,
what's the saying? Idle time is the devil's shop, the devil's playground. That's the worst thing. Rather than a babysitter, keep these guys active because idle time is.
Yeah, you're right, man.
No, 70% of millionaire athletes in the United States file bankruptcy.
Damn.
What's the percentage? What's the percentage?
Over 70%. Over 70%. All sports combined. NFL, it's over 60% within 5 years of retiring file bankruptcy. NBA, it's a little less. Baseball is a little less than that, and hockey is actually very well. They don't most of them, but that's just a breakdown. I just saw it the other day on the ESPN report. But collectively, I think it was 70% of all U.S.-born athletes who've earned $1 million within. I think it was 5 years. There was a term they used, but file bankruptcy.
Yeah, that's a mentality thing. That's what that's about. That's a cultural thing.
It is because you look at the NFL, the NHL. Sorry. It's mostly like white people that do it, like because
white people are just smarter when it comes with their money.
Yeah, well, it's more educated.
It's Canadian, really, because if people want to say that about black, I don't mean to step all everybody, but in the NHL right now, counting the per capita, black is the highest after white minority in in hockey. There's actually a ton of black kids in the minors. It's going to become more and more. You're going to see more and more. There's even some, actually like Cadre is a Muslim. It's the Canadian culture, though. It's just, but it's starting to get a little worse.
No, but it's also, I think, because I mean, to get into hockey, to put your kid in a hockey league, whatever, you need to buy the equipment. Like, there's some money that's required.
It's an investment.
Yeah, but and like, let's be, if you're like from a poor family, a low income family, like, you're not gonna put your kids in a hockey league. I mean, right? You have to buy all
we
the
rent the
equipment.
ice. It's at $500 an hour. Well, $480 an hour to rent
No,
the
you put
ice,
him
sheet of
in
ice
some
for an hour.
older sports that don't require that much money, like invested into. So already these people, and then they make it into the NHL, but they already come from a certain type of families where, like, they, they can manage money more. They have better fiscal policies, like physical knowledge. Well, no, what's the word? Anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
ability, and they just learn that at a young age. No, like my skates, my skates are retail, I think, for $1,000.
Like Mikey Garcia's career. Mikey Garcia's career hasn't been that impressive, but I think financially he's doing pretty well, right?
I don't know.
No, he's doing very well. He actually he's invested in a garage. He's invested in an upholstery shop. I think he's invested in some restaurants. But who's a huge force in that man's life? His dad.
His brother. His dad. Yeah, he's got land. He's got
family,
animals.
Dude. Listen, that's family, dude. A father in the home makes all the difference, bro. Even for, you know what I mean? It just does. 80% of most people incarcerated come from single parent homes. A young man doesn't have the same confidence. Not all. Some guys, some mothers are just unbelievable, and none others try. And what happens when you don't have a male role model, you search for one in the streets. And usually, when you grow up in a neighborhood that you see more fucking, charts than you see engagement rings, that's what ends up happening. You go with the fucking wrong crew. But again, his father, it's the family shit. It makes a difference.
You know what, Jimmy? It's funny you say that, bro, because, like I said, when I was a little shorty running around and shit, none of my homeboys had their dads around. None of them. But I did, so I was always just grateful to even have that around. You know what I mean?
I bet you it kept you in line a little. I bet you how many times growing up you said, fuck, my father will kill me. My father will kick my ass. And then when you got older, it wasn't worried about him kicking your ass. It was, I'll disappoint him.
Yeah. He's
see what I'm saying?
He fucking, it was like fucking, the little dude on Boys in the Hood. Remember, he's got his dad
my
around
dad,
the other,
like I said,
yeah.
My dad was the same, Johnny. My dad was the same, like, just, because I had my dad around, but not all the time. He left, my mum and dad split up after a while, but he was around most of my young years. And I was fit to death with the guy. And it made me a better guy, really, because I had to watch my mouth. I had to watch how I spoke to people. I had to watch how I conducted myself. I couldn't have the police come into the door. Very old school in my ways, my dad. My dad's fucking stuck. He's fucking thrown shots at he broke my nose and all sorts. Punched me in the face, broke my nose. He's fucking one of them old school guys that smack in your head. You disrespected him.
Yeah.
It's not the way to go, but actually brought me up to be a better man, I think. And then when I see a lot of the guys, look, when my dad left, it was like someone took the chains off. I was free then. My mum, it's just my mum. She ain't gonna do nothing.
Did you find yourself getting in more trouble?
Oh fucking yeah! I ended up in jail and all sorts. Do you know what I mean? So of course I did. I went off the rails. I went off the rails.
Point example.
Yeah.
My mum, listen, Mum, I love my mum. Like I said, you can have 1,000 dads, you can only have one mum. But my mum did everything for me. She couldn't bring me up to be a man. That's just something she can't do, and to that respect's just that fear is just not there. When if you fear your old man, you'll grow up to be a better person. I can assure you that.
Someone is saying that they don't believe that's Stu got better. No, just saying some stupid comment in the chat. By the way, people, Ricardo Mayorga was assaulted. Ricardo Mayorga, former welterweight champion, is now in the hospital after being assaulted.
Oh, yeah, that's going to happen, man.
Yeah.
Ricardo Mayorga grew up in Nicaragua where he was supposedly, this is what I heard, he was a gang leader. He was a guy who was involved in gangs, and he was actually like a leader. And some of these Nicaraguan gangs are really deadly, man. I mean, we don't have to go through the history of Nicaragua, right? So you kind of know what we're talking about, like what kind of crews they came from.
Yeah.
And they consider you in for life, dude, right? So when they consider you getting all that money, they consider that the gangs.
Yeah, no, a lot of these gangs, like, it's not really in America, although maybe if you go to LA and Chicago, like you'll see gangs, you're in there for life. But besides those two cities, it's not like that here in America.
I'm not
lucky he didn't get stabbed.
I'm not gonna.
What?
I'm not gonna say his name, but no name dropping, obviously. But like, there's this one Puerto Rican kid out in the Shy. There, he's like an up and coming rapper kid. He's getting some shine, but he belongs to a certain crew of guys, and that's how it is, bro. That's the crew's money. That ain't your money. That's the whole fucking crew's
Right,
money.
you're a ploy for the gang. You're basically a money ploy for the gang.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it is. I mean, he's a kid. He's like 20 or 21, I think. But yeah,
right. He's probably got some big homies that have been in prison and got connects out of their ass.
Yeah.
It says guys, the former boxer was hit with a blunt object to the head and then to different parts of the body. He was beaten to the point where he was left unconscious on the ground.
Yeah.
He was coming
That'll
from
do it to you.
shopping.
With a blunt
or
object,
something.
man. Yeah. It depends on how you get caught. I mean, one of the guys that worked for me on Tuesday night, he was doing a 24-hour shift, and he went to go grab some food, and he got assaulted by like 3 guys by a blunt object, and he's still in the hospital right now.
Jeez. Listen, Alexis Arguello, right? Obviously, you guys heard of him, right?
Mm-hmm. Of course.
He told me to my face that was the biggest problem with Nicaraguan boxers. Is before they could fucking establish themselves, the gangs usually would get so deep into the gangs it would end up ruining their careers. Like even with Chocolatito, I'm sure he was, he was involved with socialism really hard and some guerrillas and supposedly shit, but he was murdered too. That's no doubt about that. But he was a fucking total gentleman, probably the greatest fucking guy I ever met when it comes to boxing. But he was telling us one night that it was because he would come in a lull and because he had family in Lawrence, the town next door, and he would come by the gym because he knew Ouchie. And I would always make sure I was there when he was there, just to fucking. He was one of my favorite fighters. But that's what he said about Nicaragua.
What a gentleman Arguello was. Rest in peace. And then after him and Mancini fight, he goes and gives Mancini's old man a kiss. He's fucking classier now. Rest in peace,
dude.
Some people get sick. Listen, man, a guy like Mike Tyson would have never became a boxer had he not left Brooklyn, Brownsville, and he moved to Catskills, which is upstate New York. For us in the city, that's upstate. That might be downstate in certain parts of upstate New York. But
dude, that's so far upstate. That's he fought for Team Vermont when I met him and Lowell when he fought at the gloves, and everybody was saying
that's right, he did.
That Team Vermont. That's how far north that fucker fought.
My point is, he would have never made it had he stayed in Brownsville. He would have more likely been in jail, or somebody would have murdered him.
Yeah. Arguello, I think the government took everybody he had, but look, Mike Tyson reached such popularity levels that even when he went broke, he made a comeback similar to Holyfield. He kind of he can go have talks and release a book or do something, even though his business ventures failed, he can still come back. Similarly, I was going to say Pacquiao.
Yeah, but let me tell you something.
That man went broke here in the Philippines. He's made it to a certain level of superstardom that he will always have money.
He transcended the sport. But wait, hold on, guys. Before Recognize goes, I just want to say that. Okay, first of all, on Rival Boxing, you can join if you want, and we have a phone call. So after Recognize, go ahead, and I'll take a phone call after.
No, quickly, I was just gonna say, Mike Tyson's. You can tell that even though he moved to upstate New York, that mentality that he was raised in, kind of still had effects, because he got himself. I know some stories about him getting himself involved in street beef, and I'm telling you, it was all the way. If you understand what I mean by that, it was I see you. It's on. It's one of us died. That's it.
Yeah, right.
All right, guys. Hold on. Just take a phone call here. 585. You're on the air. 585.
How you doing, Mr. Boutro? This is Vince.
Yeah, what's up, Vince? What's on your mind?
What's not on your mind?
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Boutro. What's on my mind is that Wilder and Fury press conference. Fury, I'm really worried about him psychologically. He looks like a beat man. And also Wilder, he has that serious look. Did you guys see that look in his face? I mean, he looked like he wanted to kill him.
Yeah, it's called retardation. Yeah, I know what look you're talking about.
How you doing, Mr. Recognized? Just make sure you get that
Well.
wallet ready for me on the 22nd. All right, and make sure you save your money and do not spend it on beer or any alcoholic beverages or anything else out of the ordinary. Thank you.
Okay. Recognize
Did he
you
just call you up?
Wait, what's the bet? I don't understand.
Mr. Bucho. Also, Mr. Bucho, are you doing a post fight for this Danny Garcia versus Ivan Redcash?
Oh,
fight?
sure. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to stay up for the post fight, of course, and do a show. I'm being sarcastic. I'm being sarcastic.
Okay,
No.
great, Mr. Bucho. I'll be ready, and I'll definitely give you my post-fight thoughts on the fight, and we'll get our reaction on what Danny says after the post-fight.
Are you telling me that
I'll
you're
tell you what,
excited
Vinny,
about this
you're
fight?
very easy. Vinny, you're a very easy man to entertain, you aren't you?
Yeah. Come on, Vinny, cut the
I
crap.
can tell you this post
How you
fight,
doing, Mr.
he'll call out everybody
Little?
that he won't fight.
Yes, Mr. Bucho. I'm a little excited of the fight. I remember last time you criticized me and were laughing about Mr. Rosario, and you actually seen what happened, correct?
You did not pick Rosario. Stop.
Get out of
Stop
here,
it.
man. When did you see your no? I gotta go back and check it out. I don't
I
remember.
think Vinny's one of them guys living in 2 dimensions. You know what the one that David Icke talks about?
Yeah,
He's
no,
in a
I don't
matrix
remember
of his own.
Are you saying are you saying you picked Rosario? Because I don't remember him picking Rosario.
I don't remember that either.
Yo, Vinny, come on,
Yes,
cut the crap.
Mr. LSP. I did not pick Rosario, but I told you guys to watch out. This could be a potential upset.
Yeah, but I
And look
said
what
that,
happened.
but I'm not even taking.
Everybody said that.
Yeah, I could say that. I could make a guess. Oh, watch out! This guy could cause an upset.
Yeah.
I said,
This is a guess. then.
I said this is a tricky
real.
fight. For
Gonzalo said it.
I know. Hey, hang on a minute. I noticed Vinny didn't get out his Transformer wallet and put. I know he didn't do that. So you wasn't convinced Rosario was going to do that, Vinny. If you'd have come on and said, "Look, boys, Rosario's going to whoop that ass," then fair play. I'll be giving you the credit now.
90
and, seconds.
You'd be telling me, recognize, get your wallet ready right now. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, but there's no wallet out. The Transformer wallet's still in the back pocket. You know. So I don't want to hear it, Vinny. I don't want to hear it, son.
Hey, guys, guess what? Teofimo
Yes,
Lomachenko could be a possible upset. So I picked right.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Good pick, Johnny Boy. Great.
That one, guys. Teofimo will win that fight. You heard it from me first, guys.
60 seconds.
All right, Vinny Nostradamus.
Yes,
Okay,
you guys.
if it happens, we'll give you credit for it, Vinny Mac.
Who did you pick in the Canelo?
Thank you, Mr. I really appreciate
Canelo,
that coming from you.
Hi, Vinny.
I'll come out of my wallet and pay you if Teofimo wins that fight. That's a bet I'm definitely taking with you. Definitely.
Vinny, we're gonna be doing
no problem,
Vinny,
Mr.
before you go, we're
I'll
gonna
be ready.
doing a post Wilder Fury show. All right, you have to be there. All right, if you don't show up to that post fight show, you're never coming back, man. All right.
Yes.
Perfect.
You can't do that to me, Mr. Bucho.
Yes,
Why
I can,
is
man.
that?
All right.
Okay, no
Yeah,
problem,
all right.
Mr. Bucho. I will be there.
Perfect.
But please do not
10
answer my call.
seconds.
Thank you. And
All right.
I'll be waiting for the post fight for tonight. Main event, guys.
Sure.
Only on
Enjoy
show
the
tonight.
fight. Enjoy your
Good
Pepsis.
talking to you. Have a nice day.
Take care.
Have a nice night. And go fuck yourself. Bye.
That's right.
Jeez.
All right, he's gone.
Yeah, that kid's. I don't think that. I used to think that's an act. I think that kid really is like how he is, man.
Yeah.
He sounded like he was distraught when you said you weren't going to let him back on the show.
Well,
there is actually people out there. There is actually people out there that is delusional as Vinny, and I honestly believe this is from the heart. I thought it was an act at first, but now I'm starting to believe that this is really Vinny.
Me too, dude.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah.
No, he's for real, for sure.
Now it makes me kind of feel bad.
Wow, you guys surprised? Have you looked at
Picking on him.
Stu? Are you surprised that he's for real? You're the one that's always, criticizing the chat, and like, would you be surprised if it's a guy like that that's calling in? No.
Well, no, let's be real. Our chat's like an asylum for fucking nut jobs, isn't it? So, when we point one out, it's no shock, is it? So Vinny's just one of many.
Yeah. I'm not surprised at all.
No. I like Vinny though. I like Vinny. I do.
Yeah, I like Vinny. He's all right.
I told you guys
Mr.
like
LSD.
Honcho.
Hi, Mr. Recognize.
Mr. LSD.
32
seconds.
Hey, we should get Honcho and Vinny Mac to get it on, man.
Yeah, this is Hancha.
See, I'm getting it. I'm getting it in. I don't think Vinny's not a white boy, is he?
No.
Yeah, he's one of those weird, like, he could be
Uncle
white.
Tom's.
No, he's black.
Uncle Tom's. No, I'm joking, man.
I think
he's not a white guy, is he?
He said he was black.
I'm sure he's not.
Oh no, I think he said he's not white. He said he's not white, but so he would be.
Obviously, his parents have done a good job bringing him up to be respectable and have manners, and that's a good thing, I suppose. But very delusional when it comes to boxing. I mean, just seems to see a different fight to everyone else. I mean, like I said, it's probably that he's going in and out of 2 dimensions, and I think he's getting confused. I think because in the world I live in,
he almost. Stu, did you see how he tried to sneak that in? He almost tried to give himself credit for the J-Rock upset.
Yeah. Come on, man.
I'm telling you, if none of us would have said anything, he would have taken credit for it.
But the thing is, when you make predictions, I mean, like Stu, I think always said this. I mean, you have 2 guys in the ring, right? So like the possibilities, the outcomes are there's not an infinite number of outcomes here, And like if I can say it can be a good fight or it can be a bad fight, and you're gonna get
These guys are going around like they've got Biff Tanyan's betting book or something in their fucking pocket.
Exactly, man.
So I mean, at the end of the day, right? They're guessing between 2 people. It's not fucking rocket science. It's basically the same as tossing a coin, isn't it? Especially when you get 50-50
almost, yeah. There's not a lot of outcomes.
Wilder Fury's a possible upset. Fury's the underdog, or Wilder's the underdog. So that means I get my prediction right. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a possible underdog.
All right, we got another phone call here. 609, you're on the air. 609.
Start again. I don't know if I can talk about
609, you're on the air.
Hey, good night. Good evening, everybody.
What's up? What's on your mind, man?
Hello?
Yep.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, listen. Andy Ruiz, he needs his rematch.
He needs a rematch?
I think Andy Ruiz needs his rematch ASAP. Joshua's overlooking him. I think Joshua, he lost the first fight, right? We all saw that shit. He lost the first fight. Ruiz said there was a rematch close. Ruiz did it. He lost because he was dumb as hell. He ate too much. He should fucking get the rematch, and I guarantee you he will beat Joshua in the rematch.
Guarantee us that?
Excuse me?
You would guarantee us that?
I don't really guarantee it, but I will. I know he's gonna win.
Okay.
I don't guarantee it because listen, Joshua was scared to fight Andy. We all know this. He was scared to brawl. He outboxed Andy, but he did it. You can tell he was afraid. He was scared.
What do you guys think?
He was doing, the Klitschko. He was doing the Klitschko thing.
Well, look, I think we watch boxing, not brawl for them all. You know what I mean? I mean, there's multiple ways to skin a cat in boxing. If Andy Ruiz can't win a fight without it being brawling and can't outbox the dude, that's his fault.
Yeah, that is. I think Andy Ruiz should have shaped up and lost some weight and went in there and did something, but he didn't. He fucked up. But I think Joshua should rematch Andy Ruiz in this next fight. They should fight again, and then we'll see who's the best. And after that, it don't matter. Hey, what are you doing?
I don't know. How about we see?
All right, y'all. Have a good night.
I take care.
What's up?
Bay Area in the chat. Listen, you saying we hate on fights for running, but you haven't stopped even Joshua stick calling him a running coward. If I'm right, you fucking you can't say that and then fucking bash Joshua for his performance against Ruiz.
No.
Listen, both ways. Like I didn't like the performance that Joshua did, but I understood it, and that's the thing. Where you got to connect dots sometimes. You got to understand game plan, why they fight like that. You know, you can't just expect them to go in there like.
How about
You
we
can't expect
see?
them to
How
go in there
about
like
we
a
see?
Turo Gatti every fucking fight.
How
It's just not
about
gonna
we?
happen.
Yeah. How about we see Ruiz fight not a bomb, but a top level heavyweight, and then see from there if he actually deserves another title shot, because he doesn't
He needs to earn
deserve
his
a
right
title
to back
shot.
in.
What's that,
How
Jimmy?
about Ruiz versus the Polish kid?
Yeah, of course. If he beats that Polish guy,
Kanaki,
yeah, and okay, maybe I mean I would consider him
The
maybe
Dillian
getting.
White fight's the only fight for Ruiz right now. He's in such a bad place. Like I said, Mexicans don't want him anywhere near him. In America, he's a bit of a laughing stock. And it's a shame because he's a very, very good fight, but he brought that on himself by
What
the
I
shape he
hate.
came in, the attitude he showed. So for me, the big fight would be Dillian White. In the UK, get paid big money, and he gets a good win there. That's going to shoot him up number one in the WBC rankings for a start. So the Wilder Fury fight, he's going to be a mandatory for that. His name's back on the map. And there's a future for Andy Ruiz. But if he goes back to Haymon, fights on these little fucking shows with 2,000 people in there, if that, he's just going to start. He's going to get lost with all the other fucking PBC fighters, and before you know it, he's going to be forgotten again, like he was before he fought Joshua. So he needs to have a big fight. Dillian White's the only fight for me, and we'll see how it goes after that.
Hey, Stu, Bay Area Boxing says at the end of the day, Ruiz has never been knocked out. AJ has. Like, come on, man. What is that supposed to mean? Like AJ has never come to the ring in like 280 pounds or some shit like that. That's
Listen, some of the best fighters ever to grace a boxing ring have been knocked out. I can show you fighters that have never been stopped in their life.
Ray, yeah. What the fuck does that mean? Ray Leonard's been knocked out. Ray Robinson's been knocked out. Pacquiao's been knocked out. What the fuck does that mean, bro?
It's bullshit, man. Guys, hold on. We have another phone call. I think it's the same. 609. You're on the air.
Hey. No, I'm not live right now. I'm there right.
Go ahead, man.
I don't know anything about it. Talk about Andy Ruiz and Joshua the fight.
609, you're on the air. We can't hear you, man. Hello?
Go ahead. Yo!
Oh, fuck it, man. I hung up. I don't know what this guy's doing. All right.
See, the thing is, Andy Ruiz had an opportunity to solidify himself and make 30 times the amount he'd probably be making now or has ever made in his career.
That's the sign of a good businessman and a poor one. Some people have just born to have money. They know how to deal with it. When you see a lot of rich businessmen, they're so tight with their money. That's why they've got it. People like us on this show and in the chat, because we're wild. If we become millionaires, we'd probably kill ourselves. Fucking drug overdoses and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because certain people just don't know how to cope with a lot of money. That's why you got to know. And I'll keep bringing Josh up. You've got to give Josh his credit, man. This guy, a kid from the streets, didn't have much, right? And look at the money he's got now. But yet he's still hungry. He's still going for more. The way he don't go around buying flash cars. He lives in a flat above his mum, above a shop or something with his mum or something. Still, this guy. Very smart businessman, and that's why and Andy Joshua will always have money to the day he dies. Where a lot of boxers, they're like us, they get it, they spent before we've even got it. Especially the PBC fighters, they've bought that gold chain before the fight's even started. So when they've had the fight, they're handing it back over again. There's no, and Carl Froch, another one. Carl Froch, with all the money he was making in the matchroom, he started buying properties in the UK because he knew his fighting career didn't have long left.
Are you saying British?
So he owns about 40, 50 houses in Nottingham. He's going to be a millionaire for the rest of his life.
Are you saying British fighters are better at managing their money? Is that what you're trying to say here? You're saying British superior?
Say again.
Are you saying British fighters are better?
Yeah, I actually believe that. I mean, let's be real. Who are the Americans going to put up for nomination? How to look after their money as a sportsman? Are you going to name the NFL players? What about Floyd Mayweather, who fucking spends $2 million on watches? Like I said, it's America's. Like I said, it's America. When you got money in America, it can go very quickly. There's a lot to spend it on, isn't there? You can go to Las Vegas and lose your life savings in a night. So money doesn't last very long over. In Britain, there's probably less distractions. I think we're just our athletes are just a bit smarter, to be honest with you. I just think they're more intelligent when it comes to business. I'm not saying they're smarter in life.
The Bay Area, your name should be fucking El Payaso instead of Bay Area, you fucking retard.
People are saying that Froch owns half of Nottingham. Okay.
Froch owns half of fucking Nottingham. And what did he? This is the thing. When he got paid to fight Boutte, Kessler, Groves twice, all that money he made, he invested it wisely. You don't see Carl Froch walking around with 2 million watches and getting out Bugattis when there's a big fighter. You don't see that. Like I said, don't be real. I'm the same as Floyd. If I had Floyd's money, I'd have a 2 million watch and a Bugatti as well, and that's why I'd end up on the fucking scrap heap after a while as well. Some people are meant to have money.
Saying that
some
you're
people
mad because he talked about AJ, so now you're defending AJ.
Oh, Bay Area. Bay Area is definitely one that shouldn't have money. He deserves to be poor.
Ruiz lost, get over it. That's right, Azzy. Listen, I'm Mexican, but listen, it's like why am I gonna respect? Is not given; it is earned. You gotta earn respect, man. And Ruiz came in a fat fuck. How am I supposed to respect the guy? Seriously. And I made a video a month before, and he said at Mexican soccer game he's eating fucking tacos and shit. I knew it was gonna happen, man. You could see it. But anyways, why are we talking about this shit again? What are we talking about?
Can I ask you and Gonzalo a question? After the performance he put in that second fight, right, coming in overweight, how did you two feel, right, as Mexicans, watching that when he said, when Anthony Joshua asked him about, are you ready to retire, and he comes up, grabs the mic and says, who wants to see a third fight? How did you feel watching
Oh, cringe. That was cringe, man.
I'll tell you what, I got the same feeling I did when Nathan Cleverly shouted it after the Bellew 2 fight. Just nothing.
Yeah,
I don't want to see it again.
I don't want if it felt like I couldn't
when
watch it.
When Cleverly went, oh, who wants to see it again? I mean, you could hear Cotton Wool hitting the floor.
You know what?
No one. Everyone stood still, froze. They didn't want to be classed as one that did want to see it again. So, and that was the same with the Ruiz. I think with Ruiz, I do want to see it again, but I want Ruiz to prove himself. I want him to get in shape. I want him to have a good win behind behind his back. He got his lucky chance, and he took it. But he didn't build on momentum.
But
so
we gotta give credit.
I just want to see him fight a top 10 heavyweight, man. That's all I'd like
That's
to
what
see.
I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Yeah, and then from then I'll see if he deserves a rematch with AJ or whatever. But not yet, man, because that performance was garbage. But let's also give credit to AJ though. Like mentally, he took the fight right after getting knocked out. Some people were saying, no, he should take a tune-up. I think even like Johnny Nelson and all these guys, I think they were saying that he should have taken a tune-up. No, this is not good. But AJ, he's mentally strong. Green credit for that. Came in with a good game plan. I mean, sure, he moved around the ring, but he had to do it. And so it's AJ also, man. Give that guy credit, man. He's a good boxer.
AJ showed a lot of fucking character, a lot of balls. The same people that are fucking giving Joshua a stick are the same people that praise Jared Hurd for avoiding the rematch with J-Rock. That guy didn't want no part of that. Joshua jumped straight into the deep end. And let's be real, Joshua wasn't a guy who needed armbands at the time because he looked like he couldn't swim. He was that bad in the first fight. So for him to change everything, to lose all that weight, to deal with all that pressure, let's be real, Joshua has a lot of pressure. He's not just the boxing fans that he's trying to keep. I mean, look at all these fucking girly little fans he's got that are jumping on his cock every chance they get. He's got to keep his reputation up for them and falling all over the floor 4 or 5 times in a fight. Girls don't want to see that. They don't. They might pretend they like you, but if you keep getting your ass whooped, mate, they'll soon turn off. So he showed a lot of character for me, and he had to fight like he had to. If he'd have gone in there and fought the same way, he'd have got his ass whooped again.
People in the chat. Some people in the chat. Look at this. Listen to this.
It's like if you go across a fucking a railway line, you get electrocuted. You're not going to go back there the next day and do the same thing, are you? If you survive,
exactly.
And the same thing, you have to change things up. And I think Joshua did that. And he looked a lot better fight for it.
Listen to this, man. El caso in the chat. Look, guys, listen to this, man. El Caso de Paz in the chat says, AJ needs to rematch Ruiz. If Ruiz gets in shape, AJ fought scared. Hold on. And then somebody else said that Ruiz got lucky the first time. And what else are people saying? Somebody else said an interesting comment. But people are asking, here we go. Anonymous said, well done to Joshua for beating a 300-pound man. But, I mean...
Okay, so he fought scared, kind of like Luis Neri. That guy? Remember that guy?
Luis Neri against who?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, Joshua beat a 300-pound man, but it'd have been the same if he'd have fought Jared Miller. He's £300. You know, are you going to give him stick for beating a £300 if he went through Miller that night? You know, this is the heavyweight division. All right, Ruiz is 5'6" and £300.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the problem. But
I was gonna say he's
you know, but like I said, Andy Ruiz is a very good fighter. This kid's been fighting since he was 6 years old, and the guy got a lot of talent. And unfortunately, he just doesn't. He's got that Chavez Jr. mentality. And I don't know why, because it's not like his dad is a legend of the sport and he's been fed with a silver spoon. He's I just don't get it with Ruiz. He was given a golden, ticket and threw it away. Go on, Jim.
No, I was going to just agree with man. He'll never ever be in the same spotlight as he was when they built a stadium for that fight. You know what I mean? There was a lot of money over there, and he laid a fucking egg. He embarrassed himself, the sport, in his country. And Joshua showed everybody. I don't give a fuck what you think about his performance. He proved to me he was a real boxer. Up till then, I'm like, he might just be an Instagram model who can knock people out. He showed me that what he did to lose that weight and the sacrifice and all that just showed me that he actually loves the sport. He's a true boxer.
Yeah. And people are saying
that shows the character. That shows the character of the man, right? And I get a lot of stick for being an AJ fanboy, right? By a lot of Klitschko fans, by the way. But let's be real. I don't remember Vlad revenging any of them defeats. He didn't revenge any of them. And I'm a Vlad fan.
True.
But facts are facts. This guy would step straight back in there with a guy that pummeled him all over the place. Showed a lot of courage. And like I said, Lennox Lewis did the same. That's what makes great heavyweights. Take a bad defeat, come back a better fighter, in shape, and that's what Lewis did, and that's Joshua did the same. And
people who are saying that that Ruiz fought scared. He fought scared. Well, listen, he's a boxer. You're telling me that's the excuse here? He fought scared. Well, he shouldn't be in the ring then, and that's more of a reason for me not to respect him. Because he was scared in a boxing fight. How is that? I mean, are you kidding me? Why was he scared?
Right.
Why was he scared?
He did avenge the Brewster fight. Sorry, I forgot about that in the chat. That's put me right. But let's be real. You know, there was a couple of. I didn't see him wanting Corey Sanders anytime soon, did you? You know, and that's what I'm saying. It was a devastating defeat. The ones that he had real bad, devastating defeats in, he didn't want any part of again.
No.
Like the Tyson Fury fight. That wasn't even devastating, boring fight, but. He retired. He didn't fancy the rematch. The Joshua one, he didn't fancy the rematch. You know, he's talking about he had a chance. That fight would have sold again at Wembley again, 90,000. Klitschko, I still would have picked him to have a good chance because he was still a good fighter then. It's just the tank weren't there. But he just didn't.
Well, you can blame him for retiring though against AJ.
No, I'm not blaming him for retiring. But the facts are he didn't take the rematches when he took a loss.
True.
Like the Brewster he did, but that's
the Saunders fight. Corey Saunders.
Let me.
Yeah. Go
ahead. I was just gonna add, bro. And most of you have boxed at some point or another. You fucking dude. Anytime you step back into a ring with a guy who just got done knocking your fucking head off, bro, you deserve credit. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about his performance or none of that, bro. If you jump right back in with a guy who just got done beating the fuck out of you, you deserve. It shows you got some balls, bro. That's you got to tip your hat to it, and that's it.
Exactly. Give him credit, man. I know you had the whole Wilder clan against the Joshua clan, and they're all fighting each other. But you gotta give credit to Joshua, man, for taking the rematch. After getting knocked, after being stopped, come on, give that guy credit. You can still hate him, but you gotta give him some credit.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I mean, he could have very well taken another route and fought somebody else and all this, that, and the other. It was just like when Kovalev got knocked out by what's the Colombian? Alida Alvarez.
Alvarez.
Yeah. When he got knocked out by him, and he jumped. I mean, he took a couple months off, whatever, but. He jumped right back in the ring with them and whooped his ass, bro. You deserve if you fucking even it don't even have to be no championship of the world. If you even in a street fight, bro, if you say you get your ass kicked, you say you get the shit kicked out of you in a street fight, you fucking run it back a couple of days later with the dude who just got done kicking your ass. That shows you got some fucking heart and balls about yourself.
Johnny, spot on, mate. Spot on. Let's be real. Anyone here goes in and gets in a street fight, gets their ass whooped. There's not many of us are getting up in the morning wanting for round 2. It's just a natural instinct. It's a natural instinct to, I've just got my ass whooped. Do I really want that again? And the thing is, the second time, he's going to do a better job on you to make sure you don't come back a third time. So you know,
what was he supposed to do? Sit there and trade again with Ruiz? And strategy-wise, Ruiz fucked up because he came in really heavy, and the other guy lost weight. He had the proper training.
Yeah.
The same people that bashed Joshua are the same people that praise Sugar Ray Leonard for doing it against Duran in the second fight. Sugar Ray Leonard went with the Joshua game plan, took Duran for granted, went in there, went to war with Roberto Duran, which was a great fight, by the way. It just shows what a great Leonard is, because he went to war with a man like Duran. Shows you what a great he is. But at the end of the day, it cost him dearly on the night. You don't go to war with a brawler like Duran. A world-class one at that. So the second fight,
let's face it.
Hang on a minute, Gonzalo, quickly. The second fight, do you think he went in there for a war? He went in there on the back foot, slick. I mean, let's be real, it was horrible to watch. It really was. But it is what it is. He did what he had to do. Everyone praises. We talk about it today. Look how long ago it was. Look how, Sugar Ray, one of the greats, because he did it. Joshua fucking does it because he and he's a runner and a coward. I mean, that's where we are.
And let's face it, we got to give AJ credit for the reason that if he would have lost, his career would have been pretty much over, and he would have got no credit, a lot of disrespect.
He would have been the next David Price,
but
man.
He still gets credit.
He would have been the next David Price. Hold on, we need to take a phone call here. 604, you're on there. 604.
What's up, boys? How are you?
What's up? What's on your mind?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir. Go ahead.
Just wanted to get your guys' hypothetical. Lennox Lewis, Deontay Wilder. What you think would have happened? I think Lewis would have taken him out in 2 or 3. And
Just go and watch
Usyk
Michael Grant versus Lewis. I'll give you a rough idea.
Go ahead.
That's exactly what I think would have happened, 100%. And Usyk against Chisora looks like it's going to be March 28th. I think Usyk's going to stop him impressively in the 11th round. And just wanted your guys' opinion.
I think Usyk is going to absolutely whip Derek Chisora's ass. And I like Chisora, but even though he's a bit
the thing with Chisora, he's not going to go away, is he? He's going to be in Usyk's face. Usyk is going to have to be on his best to win that. I'm telling you now.
That's a very, very good fight. And Chisora's a bit older in this. Usyk's move just now, moving up. He had the one little tune up, so they both got.
I think that's it's a great fight to see where he is with the big heavyweights and the top ones, because Chisora's the gatekeeper for me. If you get past Chisora, then you're in that world class level at the top, because Chisora on his day can beat anyone. He just turns up, he fancies it, and you're in trouble. And he's going to walk through Usyk's shots. I don't think a hungry Chisora is not going to quit like he did against Fury, or go in there and lose like he did against who was it? He got schooled by some fucking bum. I can't remember who it was recently. But you're not going to get that performance from him. He fancies Usyk. He's going to be hungry. He seems a new guy under David Haye as well. I think that's a real hard night for Usyk, because Chisora can take a shot. I don't see Usyk stopping Chisora. I think he's going to have to box. He's going to have to be very smart as well, because Chisora will maul him. He'll swarm him. He'll throw shots. And like I said, he's not going to give Usyk any time to be thinking. So we're going to see Usyk's a world-class talent, but we're going to see his talents on show. And if he is as good as I think he is, he'll win the fight. But if he's not, then I think he could be in trouble.
Oh yeah.
If I was training Usyk, man, I'd be going to that body from the fucking off the rep, just tuning the body on Chisora.
Something you say it's a lose-lose fight for Usyk. No, it's not. What Usyk doesn't have no right to step into a division, demand AJ fights when he's got mandatories, demand Wilder fights when there's Fury coming up and stuff. He has to fight someone. And like I said, who else is there around? I think it makes sense for Chisora. And let's be real, it's to get him known to the British public. That's what that fight's for. So he can fight Joshua at Wembley Stadium, or I think it might be at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, one of the best stadiums in the world, by the way.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be there. And I think Usyk could be fighting Joshua somewhere like that, right? Pay-per-view in the UK, and I think the Chisora's there, because Chisora's a big name in the UK. Say what you like about his defeats. Big name. Everyone. Chisora's a pay-per-view fighter in his own right, sort of thing. He sort of holds cards together when they're a bit weak. He sort of like boosts them up, sort of thing. So he's going to be there to boost Usyk's name up. And I think that's what they're doing.
All right, guys. Can we the caller, because we can't forget about the callers here. Caller, anything else?
No, that's all
Okay.
right, guys. You guys are doing a great job, and keep it up. Love listening to you guys. You know, it's good to listen to an unbiased show, unlike the boxing voice.
Oh yeah.
So keep
I
it
know
up.
all about that show, and I used to be a host. I used to be a host on that show, and that's why I left, man. I mean, let's be real. It was fanboyism. It's worst. I mean, this guy, you know, and it got to a stage where it wasn't a real boxing show anymore for me. I think Lester Gibbs is a talent. He's a very talented guy at what he does. He's a very good host of the show, and you know, the guy is entertaining to listen to. It's just, unfortunately, there's an agenda behind the show, and it makes it a bit corny.
All right, man. Thanks for calling.
Dudes, a little bit. I don't know what to say, man, but like when that cruiserweight tournament was on, those guys wouldn't even mention the fact that tournament was on. They were talking about Adrian Broner and loser fights like that, you know. And I'm going, this is like top level, world class tournament going on, and they wouldn't even mention it. It was crazy. So
my God!
For me,
yeah, no, you're right.
For me, that was it. You know. So, but keep it up, anyways, guys. Cheers. I'm gonna bounce. I'll phone back another time, and I'll continue to listen. Okay.
Take care,
buddy. Take care, man.
That's another reason why I want Ruiz to fight Dillian White next.
Fucking
Dillian White. Dillian White is. Go ahead.
Sorry, no, I'm sorry, Stu. But I was just gonna say, I thought Stu was spot on with that. They're gonna make Usyk a little bit more known to the fucking public over there by fighting another English guy, you know, and make him a little bit more of a familiar face to the Englishman.
Yeah, because Bay Area is going on about Bellew, but Bellew's not really a big name in the UK. You might think he is because he's all.
Well, he's also not a heavyweight. Like,
No, he's also not a heavyweight.
Oh, he was
like when Bellew fought at Goodison Park, right, in front of his hometown, in front of his, you know, he's an Everton fan at his own football club. He struggled to sell that. I think it was only like 20,000 there.
The other thing I was just gonna say real quickly. I know we got a full house here, but I was just also gonna say, on the flip side to what Stu was saying with Chisora, you know, he's gonna come in there hungry, looking to take his fucking head off and this and that. I think on the flip side of that, Usyk knows he's got to make a big move at heavyweight and show he's, you know, making his bones as a heavyweight too. He's got to put on a good performance as well. So both guys want to put on a fucking
because
that makes for a good fight.
Yeah, you're spot on, mate. Like, it's like when David Haye moved up. David Haye just couldn't go and fight Vladimir Klitschko. He had to build his way up the rankings, you know. And that's what any cruiserweight. I know some divisions and some guys can just go straight up and get you. I can understand that. I can understand in some ways, but with the heavyweight division, I just don't think Usyk deserves to be pushed straight in there with the. I think there's other guys that have earned their right. I mean, Dillian White. What does that guy have to do to get shot? So Dillian White has to be before. He has to be before Usyk. I know Usyk's a cruiserweight legend of the
11
sport.
fights now. Yeah.
Yes,
11,
I know.
11. Yeah. 11 ever since the loss.
It's
Can I comment a little on White? Can I comment a little bit on White? Dillian White would have had a world title shot if he had have accepted Joshua's offer. Like, I know, like, the Wilder thing is the fight that he hasn't had the opportunity for, but he was offered twice by Joshua. They went through. They've improved their offer even with White. I know, like, whatever, but
I
he
think with
refused.
Dillian White. Yeah, but I think what Dillian White's doing, and I don't blame him. It's called business. Dillian White needs a belt, and then unify the title with Joshua. It'll be massive in the UK. Right now, people are going to look at it. Dillian White, the guy that was hanging over the ropes against Joshua in the last time they fought, out cold. You know, and Dillian White's looked poor against certain. I mean, Helenius, he was dreadful. He was dreadful in his last fight. He was losing against Chisora before he landed that fucking shot. You know, so. He's a big name White, but I think he still needs to. I think he still needs a little boost. And I think if you put a belt, that especially if he beat Wilder, man, that fight would be fucking huge in the UK, massive. Wembley.
The Rivas fight was pretty close, and he got dropped. So yeah, that fight was pretty close.
Yeah, Oscar Rivas was close as well. Yeah, I mean Joseph Parker was. I mean, seconds away from being stopped. If Parker,
that was a great fight. That's a great fight, by the way.
It was
Parker. People sleep on that fight. That's one of the best heavyweights.
And this is why people sleep on Dillian White. If Dillian White can drop Joseph Parker, who's got one of the best chins in the division, and hurt him that bad, if he lands on Deontay Wilder, mate, it's going to be sleep time.
And him and Usyk would be pretty interesting because White lacks stamina in the later rounds, and Usyk, we got to test that chin.
Yeah, Usyk right now. Usyk against any of these guys, they're a tough fight, man. I mean, look, I could see what you're saying. Gonzalo, like in the later rounds, he can, if he's still fresh and that 215, whatever he's coming in at, it's not affecting him. He probably outboxes these guys easy in the second half. But the first half, you got to think, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, he's got to go through that initial wave, right?
Yeah, I think guys like Joseph Parker, where he's not really, really big. I think Joseph Parker is a very good fight for him. I want to see that fight happen. Chisora too, obviously, because Chisora is just fucking tough, and you can't like totally underestimate him. So
look, I never wanted Usyk to come in and just go. Go ahead.
Go ahead, McGregor.
Right. I never wanted Usyk to just come in and get a world title shot. Like the original plan, remember, everybody thought it was going to be Takam, Joseph Parker, Joshua. That was going to be his route. He's fought Witherspoon, and if he doesn't fight at least a Chisora, and then he goes into Joshua, never mind the fact that he hasn't earned the stripes, he ain't going to be ready. He just isn't going to be ready. You don't just walk in with one of those top 3 dudes from cruiserweight and just beat them. Unless you're like a one-off ATG. It's just not going to happen for you. So he needs to be hit by a real heavyweight.
And we're going to find out. We're going to find out if he's going to be able to hurt these guys as well. And we're going to also find out because Chisora carries enough punch, enough whacking his punches to knock Usyk out. I mean, if he's knocking Takam out like that, then he's going to. If he catches Usyk, he's going to hurt Usyk. I don't care what anybody says. So I think if he starts to hold Chisora's shots and then starts to beat up Chisora and you got to say he stands a chance against any of them. But if he goes in there, it's a toe-to-toe war, and he's, Usyk will find out a lot about himself on that night because Joe Chisora is going to come to the fight. That's it.
Yeah. Well, so as far as the stripes thing, I think he's entitled to a shot because he was undisputed at cruiserweight. But you're absolutely right about him being prepared to fight a heavyweight.
Yeah, he needs to build up his his punch calluses, you know what I mean? They just call it the punch callus, and McGregor's right. He needs to eat enough shots where he's comfortable taking shots at heavyweight. And once that happens, there's just stages.
Not too many, right? Not too many.
No, I mean, but you want, like you said, it's a progression. You want to, up it up. You don't want to go in against the heavy cracker right away. But who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to get comfortable. You don't want to get too comfortable taking too many shots if your strengths are relying on your defense, right, in your boxing.
Even Holyfield didn't walk straight into a shot with the big boys. I mean, he's one of the great cruiserweights of all time. So I think,
because if you can get away with not getting hit clean by a punch throughout your whole career was impossible, pretty much. But the less that it happens, the better. Like Mayweather, he only got cracked a few times, but that's a different story.
Yeah, but Mayweather's got a chin. Mayweather's proved that he's got a chin because he's been hit by some decent shots in his time. I mean, Mosley caught him with a monster shot.
His conditioning is second to none.
Yeah, but he's got good chins as well, mate. Because you could do. Amir Khan fucking runs up mountains and he's sleeping when he gets clocked on his chin. So it doesn't mean anything. You still got to have a good chin, good strong legs. I believe the calves are very important in boxing. I think fighters with big. He used to run into shots, didn't he? Because he was so unorthodox. He used to run into shots. It looks like
Khan gets caught off guard
a
lot.
I don't remember as Khan
tells you that he does have bad defense because the way he goes to sleep, it's like he doesn't see it coming.
Yeah. Well, it's always the shots that you don't see come. But now, does Khan really do you have good conditioning? Because I don't think I've ever seen him go late in the fights looking good. He usually gets clipped.
Maidana, with the Maidana fight, he showed it. He was pretty resilient. He actually showed to take a good punch in that fight. It's kind of straight because Maidana's the big puncher.
Maidana's arguably the biggest puncher that he ever fought against in his own weight class. Which was
also, that could have been him seeing the shots. Look, Lennox Lewis one time had a toe-to-toe fight, and I think Lennox Lewis' chin was over-exaggerated at times of how bad it was.
You know about the Ray Mercer fight?
Ray Mercer fight.
Yeah.
He took because he saw it coming. That's why. He saw those punches coming. So,
yeah.
To be fair, though, Lennox took some big shots off the Tarly, too.
Shannon Briggs.
That's true. Yeah, Shannon Briggs.
I think with Lennox,
yep.
I think with Lennox, like you said, that one with Ratman, I think he was so out of shape. You got to remember.
Look, Shannon Briggs was overrated in his career when he
Yeah.
first started. But the one thing he could do is he could hit hard, and he was hitting Lennox with big shots.
Yeah, well, he's got 36. He's got about 36 first round knockouts or something. Shannon Briggs has. I mean, it's ridiculous the KO record. But it's like it was the Ratman fight. That had a lot to do with high altitude. You know, when you go up at high altitude in South Africa, right, you can barely walk fucking 5 yards without being all fucking lackluster and dizzy. And when you're out of shape as well, and you're in there with a guy that's 15 and a half, 16 stone hitting you with a big shot, you're going to go to sleep. And I think that's what it's more down to. You know,
exactly like you said, out of shape. When people are out of shape, it's the same as being drunk. You know, when I see a drunk kid get a shot, they go right out cold. Because when you're sucking air, you're so much more susceptible to get knocked out because your oxygen carried in red blood cells, and when they're fucking starved for oxygen, that's why your lights can go out. Like when Yard get put out by Kovalev, that wasn't so much a knockout as it was he just was so guppying, you know. That's why usually kids who aren't conditioned are so much more susceptible getting knocked out later in fights.
Yep. Yeah. Like when that prick fucking sucker punched me and broke my nose when I was a kid. I was fucking hammered. Breathing like this already before I start fighting. Cocksucker.
It's absolutely right about the punches when you see them not coming because you can't brace your body. That's why Deontay Wilder, he was able to take Ortiz's punches because he saw them coming from a mile away. He could tense up his body, get out the way a little bit. You know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's all about
taking flesh. In other words, get out. Yeah,
it's all about seeing the punches. If you can see it, even if you get rocked, you could still like prepare for that because it's just when you're getting caught with something off guard, your body's off guard. You're not tense. You know what I'm saying? You don't see it, so that's lights out.
And you could also roll with them, right? Recognize you could roll with the punch a little bit. You know, ride the punch where it's not catching you like a full impact.
No, put it under the bed. Oh, sorry.
No, even with my boy Mickey, man, like fucking at that fight he fought at the Salem Ice Arena in Salem, New Hampshire, was that fight he was down on the scorecards in the 12th round. He ended up taking a kid, I think it was Green. He was like 23-0. He was an up-and-comer. And later in the dressing room, that's what he said. He said, I thought I trained hard enough, but I knew at the end of the 11th, he said, when I was gasping for air, I looked up at you, Mickey, you would just took one swallow and sat right back down because his condition was always second to none. Because like Mickey knew, he'd say, I'm not going to be as talented as these motherfuckers because I didn't spend my boxing wasn't the only thing I ever did. And, you know, I'm not going to be as slick, but nobody will be in better condition. And that's how he was able to beat so many top-end guys.
That's how you beat them. That's how you beat guys that are better boxers than you. You have to have very good condition. You have to have a good chin, and you have to have high work rate with decent punching power. That's it. If you haven't got that, forget it. And Mickey had those traits. Mickey lost fights, so he was getting outboxed in. Let's be real. When it goes to war, Mickey he'd go to war with the best of them. But obviously, boxing, there's you can only use what you've got. And that's what I'm saying. There's certain fighters out there that have just.
Mickey Ward might have been one of the best toe-to-toe fighters that ever.
Yeah.
Lived. He might have been one of the best. I mean, let's bang it out. Let's see what happens. I think he beats just about anybody.
I still think he holds the record right now for the most knockouts to the body under middleweight.
It's called hot boxing. All right, that's hot box. Me and you don't move.
Yeah,
he fucks up most people that ever did it. Guarantee you that, bro.
Like you said,
sorry, I was just gonna say, you throw him in a phone booth fight. There ain't too many people who's gonna beat him.
No.
Yeah.
And that's why you can't blame anyone. If you're fighting Mickey Ward, I mean, why would you want to go toe to toe with him and sit in the pocket? It's fucking suicide, isn't it? So, you're gonna go
at the end of your job and run.
Of course you are. The thing is, this is boxing, though. This is why, like I said, I don't like to give all these snobs that talk about the sweet sides. They're over the top with me. I do like to see but obviously I expect them to entertain, throw shots, and look impressive doing it. I don't like to see fighters running on the back foot, pop shotting the jab out. I hate that. So I'm not. condoning that sort of boxing. I still believe you've got to use your brain sometimes. When you're in there with a killer, you don't go to war with him, do you?
Yeah, and that's why I'm always saying, like, bro, you don't have to be this pound for pound, all-time great fucking renowned fighter for me to like you, bro. All you got to do is go out there and fucking let somebody have it once in a while and be a respectable dude, and I'm gonna root for you. It's that simple.
Well, going into Mickey Ward at the press conference with Toro Gotti, I'll never forget when they said to Toro, "You're gonna go backwards," because that's Mickey's game, is in the fucking pocket, stand there and throw punches. And Toro's like, "No," he goes, "Well, that's my game." He goes, he's going on about how that's his game too. He goes, "Nobody ever beats me in the pocket," and that's what he stressed. But at the end of the fight, going into the second one, I saw him and I said, "Here we go," and he goes, "No. Fuck that. That kid's Jason." That's what he's calling Michael or Jason. Mike goes, "Man, fuck that." He goes, "I hit him, Jimmy, in the 8th round. I caught him with a shot." He goes, "You see when I slightly turned out?" Because he goes, "I thought he was going out." He goes, "I thought I was going to look back over my shoulder." And he goes, "I never hit anybody so hard in my life," and it was right on his chin. And I heard him make a sound. But then when I turned around, he goes, he punched me in the side of my head. I was like, how could this fucking be happening? He goes, that's when I almost lost right there. He goes, he goes, that's when I was so morally in the 8th round of that first fight. It looks like the 9th round is when he was most hurt, but he said emotionally was the end of the 8th because he said, I went to my corner. I said, I can't knock this kid out. And he said, that's the first time in my whole life I ever thought that.
The thing is, though, that's why Mickey was in. That's why Mickey's a Hall of Famer. Because it doesn't matter that you lose fights. Boxing to me is it's
entertainment, man.
It's an entertainment for me. And when you've got people like Mickey putting on the line, I mean, we talk about the Arturo Gatti trilogy. We'll be talking about that till the day we die. Now, a lot of these fighters that we're talking about now with these zeros, they're going to be forgot about a day after they retire. I'll never forget. I'll never remember them again.
Like a fart in the wind. Their legacy.
And bro, that's why, like, back in the days, and your popses and your grandpas be talking up Carmen Basilio and shit like that, because they put on so many fucking fights they're never gonna forget, just nonstop fucking balls.
Mindless brawls, mindless
that's
brawls.
Why I guess what I'm
and let's be real, fucking Barrera and Morales basically made the small guys popular in the UK.
That's another one, Stu. Yeah, exactly.
Guys, you don't appreciate...
They made these small guys popular in the UK and probably a lot of other places too. I mean, like I said, big names in the UK, Barrera and Morales.
Guys,
and no one was really... That opened the door for people like Nazim Hamed and all them other ones.
The problem is you guys don't appreciate high IQ fights, where there's a lot of skills. You don't understand the sport of boxing. You guys want to see brawls. That's all you want to see.
Right. Except. Oh, sorry, Frank.
No, I'm sorry, Johnny, but let me just say this real quick. That's
was that?
Guys like that. Look, I'm sorry, Stu. Let me just say this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I don't mind a guy who's defensively responsible, who can put on a boxing clinic, but not wanting to get hit. Like, I don't care for that kind of boxing.
Yeah, that's where you're punching your ticket to really test your skills. Fighting on the inside with the other guy. We're going to test our skills. Yeah.
Whoever just said that we don't appreciate technicians, well, then explain to me why the fuck my favorite fighter is Lomachenko.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I'll wait.
Usyk, Lomachenko, Canelo Alvarez, they're all my top fighters, all technicians, all the best at what they do. And let's be real, running on the back foot, flicking out a flimsy jab is not technical skills to me. Golovkin doesn't do that stuff, but he's technically brilliant. The way he cuts off the angle, the way he stalks, the way he throws his shots. There's so many ways you can be the thing is, these snobs from America, right? These snobs from America, they've got in their idea that if you don't look like Floyd on the back foot, you're not technically sound or you're not a skill set.
Look, Manny Pacquiao, so very smart fighter, right? I know people like, what? What do you mean by that? Go look at him and look at his last fight with Keith Thurman. Go look at some of the defensive techniques, him using his elbow. Just to look, I'm not as fast as I used to be. Let me put my elbow up a little high by my chest while I got my stomach and everything kind of tucked in. So all Keith Thurman's going to hit is elbow shots. Okay? You could be smart and exciting at the same time. Boxing is about that. It's an entertainment sport. Like,
of course
I
it
don't
is. Well,
care
but
about. I boxed smart. I bored you to sleep, and I still won. Like, okay, that's good for you. How's that good for me? You know,
well,
like
my
how's that a
gauge
good?
for this, my gauge for like who's like, put it this way, Sweet Pea. Pernell Whitaker said at one point that Mickey was his favorite fighter to watch. Now, this is one of the greatest defensive fighters ever, because he said his fights are never boring. He says, it's always going to end up in some slugfest. He said, if I'm not getting hit, I want to see it. You know what I mean? He wasn't stupid. Mike Tyson loved Mickey. He was always at Mickey's fights. Always. He said he was the greatest body punch he's ever seen. And Mickey, and like, Mike studied body punches. He loved it. True boxers love body punches, and that was Mickey's gift, man. He could lull you to sleep with that tap to the right. He just worked on it for so much. He did it to us in the neighborhood for years, man. Get us down in his basement and make us shit our pants. Jerk. No, he was fucking, but he was a good dude, man. I know he's a good dude, and he could fucking crack. But all the fighters liked him. They always showed up to his fights.
The thing is, the Irish Americans and Italian Americans, it's been bred in them to go to war and be tough and exciting. They don't. They've never really took to slicksters. How many Italian slicksters do you know? How many Irish slicksters? Usually they're just brawlers, aren't they? Big tough guys, and it's just the way they are.
Yeah,
and,
but Stu,
this
thing. Can I just say something about this?
Willie Pep was a slickster, no?
This idea of black fighters being slicker and defensively sound, that all started with Floyd. I mean, sure, you had Sweet Pea but it's not like all black fighters used to fight like Floyd or similar to Floyd. That's all bullshit, man. This is just
Willie Pep was white.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
White.
Anybody can be defensively sound or defensively prioritize the defense and everything. It's not a black or white or brown thing. But these Floyd fans, they want to make it into a racial thing. Man.
Yeah, Julian Jackson is from the Virgin Islands. Terry Norris, Meldrick Taylor, all those guys were black.
Nicolino
Loche.
Yeah,
Marvel and Hager.
He was kind of more of a defensive fighter, but he could be exciting. But I'm sure he bored people to death with that. So
he became famous from being defensive, like with his upper lateral movement.
Like Willie Pep. Willie Pep was that type.
I challenge anybody in the chat who's saying that kind of sucker shit right now. Okay, go watch Floyd fight whoever. And then I want you to go watch Hagler Mugabe, and you can come back and tell me which one you enjoyed more.
Exactly.
Well, you go to YouTube, right? You go to YouTube, you look up Floyd fights. Any one of Floyd's fights, Floyd Maidana, 1.2 million views. You go to Mickey Toro, 28 million. You know what I mean? Ward Toro. Like you said, certain fights will live in infamy because guys almost killed each other. And then when you add the fact that Mickey was working full time on a fucking steamroller at 130 degrees at cement temperature, 8 to 10 hours a day, and then training at night. And then I think he took home 58 grand after expenses to leave his brain fucking scrambled. That's why I have a hard time respecting dudes like Gerd, who had a couple of fucking tough fights, 1 year in a row, and then now I want to take it on easy street. Fuck you, you're a disgrace.
Yeah, you know what it is? You know why I heard? Because a lot of people can't take that kind of punishment.
Right, and when I say socioeconomic, I know a lot of people think, the white kid's saying, it's a black. No, it's not. Listen, when I say that, I'm talking about Mickey too. The reason why Mickey was so tough, there's a video out about Lowell wrestling, and they show a lot about the city. People got to understand the mindset of this city. It's called a valley. We're in a valley, and what we're surrounded by, wealth. We're surrounded by all these fucking mill owner towns, and I told you the story. I was dating a fucking black chick, and when I went to her house, don't tell my father you're from Lowell. So I'm like, wow, so my family's such scum. So I even, you know what I mean? I understand what it's like but my point being, everywhere we went, we had a fight. Everywhere. And then kids came in from everywhere to fight us all the time. Like there was this one bar, and everybody walking on literally with mouthpieces in their back pocket. We would brawl all the time, and the rich kids would come in, and they would just try to treat our city like a toilet because that's what hookers were. And it's strange to be surrounded by all this wealth, and that drove Mickey. You get that insecurity, like fuck you. You guys might have more money, you might be driving the BMWs to high school, and we're still fucking thumbing it or taking the bus, but we will stove your fucking head in if you look sideways at us. Make no mistake. And that's what drove us, and that's what drove Mickey's fucking mindset too. And I'm telling you, I've had conversations with him about it. He's like, yeah, we're all from low, we're all insecure, dude. So fuck that. I beat up everybody who ever treated me like shit when I went in the ring.
There's something about boxing that's not satisfying to watch in public. That's why all these offshoots are coming. You've got mixed martial arts and offshoot from boxing. You've got the new bare knuckle stuff. They're getting rules. Like bare knuckle's going to be really big soon. That's starting to get big in the UK. They've got proper belts and it's properly run. And we wouldn't need these things if boxing was doing the right job. But people are not satisfied with boxing. Mismatches, poor fights. You know, people not putting it all on the line.
The thing with the bare knuckle, Jimmy, I've seen they're putting on like mainly like older guys that know a little bit about fighting, but they're like old because you have a tendency to probably break your hand and like incur heavy damage on your face in the bare knuckle. So I don't think a guy that's like a young in his prime type of fighter will delve into that because you pretty much ruin your body.
No, they're not.
Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I'm not sure.
If you're a professional boxer, why would you want to go to bare knuckle? But the fact is, I'm talking about the watching public. They're going to start watching the bare knuckle. That's going to get big. And let's be real, that's why the UFC got big, because when it first came out, they saw violence. They saw people being fucking comatized, flying elbows in their face. That's what people want to see. Let's be real, people are violent. Human beings are they're the most hideous creature in the universe.
They are.
Oh my God.
They're a violent, disgusting invention, and
that's not
That's
true.
what I'm saying. So they want to see blood, guts. They want to see people hurt. Some of them even want to see people killed. That's people. Stu,
here's the thing. Like one of my heroes, George Carlin, said before he passed away. He said, "Listen, human beings will do a lot of gross shit. A rat will do a lot of gross shit, but it will not fuck a dead rat. You got people out there who will fuck a corpse, bro. We're some sick fucking creatures, bro."
Listen, I mean,
but mainly I was saying because if you break your hand,
hang on a minute.
If you break your hand, okay.
Sorry, I'm just replying to Johnny. There's humans out there that would hurt a defensive animal, puppies. They're just sick motherfuckers.
Yeah.
The human, like I said, the best thing that can happen to the race is a fucking meteorite hitting us again. That'd be the best thing for us. So let's be real. Because I think for this planet to survive and to move on, we need to be off it because we're horrible. We're a horrible species. But we thrive on violence, blood, and.
Hey, blood is action. Blood is drama.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But the reason I was saying that, the reason I was saying that is because I'm thinking it's like if you break your hand, you break your weapon that you used to punch. You're probably not going to punch the same in the next fight. And if you catch a blow with no gloves to the face and you break the bridge of your nose a certain way, or you get like a deep gash that's going to always constantly be ripping up again, that's the reason, not because we don't love the violence. Of course we do.
I mean, one of these fucking clowns in the chat's comparing a cat catching a bird to a human fucking terrorising a puppy. I mean, this is what we're dealing with in the BDA chat. Low IQ. I mean, let's be real. Humans have got the intelligence, and if we know what's right and what's wrong, but we choose to accept the wrong. That's the difference. We've been told, we've been educated to know that hurting a little puppy or a kitten is not a nice thing to do. Any normal person wouldn't do that, right? So it's an animal's nature to catch a bird. These people, they do it for survival. They don't do it to be cruel. This is the difference. And if you can't see that, then
this is the thing. This is the thing right here. I'll tell whoever said that in the chat. Let me put it to you this way, because this is how fucked up I am. I can't even speak for nobody else. When I see some people getting hurt, doesn't bother me. If you hurt a cat, because I grew up with cats my whole life. You hurt a kitten, I'm coming to get you, bro. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
hey, guys, you gotta understand this, though. This is what we want to see.
You're protecting the weak.
Were you watching the Luca Magnotta case on Netflix, Jimmy? Where they killed the cats and the guys went after him or something?
All right, hold on. Listen to this.
That's the thing about boxing combat fans, right? We love boxing. We love all that stuff. Touch a dog will kill you.
Yeah, because
guys, listen to this, man.
Boxing's, hang on a minute, Butcher. Boxing's a warrior's code. But
exactly.
I mean, the thing with boxing, a real man, if he wants to see violence, then he'll go in and get in the ring himself. He won't sit there and put an animal in there to go and fight or whatever.
Dude, if you guys saw Mickey, I'm sorry.
You know what I mean? No, but that's the difference to me. You know,
blood is emotion.
It's usually the guys that like to see violence are the ones that don't actually volunteer themselves for it. Do you know what I mean?
I was gonna. Hey, Stu, if you saw Mickey with his dog, you would, dude, you just laugh. Dude, he holds him up in his lap, right? Literally on his lap. His bulldog usually has a sweat. I mean, like a Patriots shirt on him or something. And he sits back, and the dog licks his face, and he's licking the tongue and kissing him. He's like, "Oh, baby." Dude, he talks to him like dude. He loves his dogs. Loves his dogs.
I love my dogs. I don't let them.
Me too. I'm just.
But listen. Most when you see these MMA fighters, right? You see these MMA fighters, fucking cabbage ears, like fucking war-torn scars. They're sitting there, fucking cuddling their little French bulldogs and stuff, loving the thing. True warriors, you know, they don't want to see that. They want to see violence, but they want to do it themselves. Go in there and prove to themselves that they're real men. And I respect people like that. I don't respect fucking people. That
You know what it says on his pickup truck. On his because his dog's always with him in the passenger seat, but it says on his fucking truck, I think his sister put it there, it said screw the dog, beware the owner.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Blood is emotion.
That must have been crazy back in the days in the Roman Colosseum when they would put men with arms against savage animals.
Big Bucho's trying to say something. Go ahead, Bucho.
All right.
Blood is good. Blood is emotion. Blood is a story, a drama. Blood is what we want to see in terms of passion. What we want is a bloody good fight tonight.
That's right.
Larry Merchant's the fucking greatest.
I know people hate Larry Merchant, but he tells it like it is.
Larry Merchant.
Why would people hate Larry Merchant? I don't understand that.
Oh, you know why, Jimmy?
Hate him, man.
You know why?
Oh, Jimmy, because Jimmy, he was racist against Floyd. That's why people don't like him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Floyd
would go rounds without even talking.
Floyd was more interested in padding his record and making sure that there was a zero on it. Now, this is coming from a guy that thinks that Floyd is a very good fighter, because the most entertaining moments of Floyd's career was when he was tested. When he was tested and he had to fight, he showed that he can fight.
I'm always defending old Larry Merchant on here, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. If you're gonna attack a 90-year-old man just for whatever 80-year-old man, you're a piece of shit to begin with. Second of all, if you can go, I want you to go back. I challenge any of you in chat to go back. You tell me one racist thing Larry Merchant ever said. You can call my bluff. Until then, shut the fuck up.
Dude, he's an encyclopedia. He's an encyclopedia. You'll never meet anybody in your life with a better vault in his head of fights. Dude, he was ringside at fucking Ali, Sonny Liston. Dude, he's been around. He's seen so many fucking fights, either as a writer, commentator. It's crazy.
When he left HBO, HBO's never the same, really, was it? Let's be real, right?
Yeah.
Well, we have Kellerman.
Dude, he would go rounds without talking. Opposed to Max Kellerman.
Yeah, he's coming for really they had really introspective.
Kellerman's cool. He's all about the sound bites now, and what sounds good to the. How many fucking political correct fucking snowflake words can I come out with? How many times I could convince black people that I love them and I love Andre Ward? Get out of here, Kellerman.
How many times I can convince black people I'm not a racist? I'm not a racist.
Larry Merchant would say the hardest job about a color commentator is knowing when not to talk. And it was so true.
Okay, but guys, could Larry Merchant do what Kellerman did?
Yeah, no, because he's not a homo. Like,
it's pretty good.
No, he's just a soy boy. He's just a little
Bay Area. I'm sorry, Bay Area. I mean, like I said, I don't mean to be cruel, but it's the truth. I would actually, if I was walking past a lake and you and a dog were drowning, then I'm afraid you'd be the one that that I wouldn't be saving. I'm sorry about that. I'd have to save the dog. And
what about a kid?
The thing is, I don't want. The world could live without Bay Area, can't it? A poor little innocent dog.
Hey guys,
no one wants to see that get hurt.
I was gonna say, can I tell you something about Kellerman? What I was told by someone. I don't really want to say that because then you'll know exactly who told me. But you know how close he was for getting fired 6 months ago? Like he was told that he'd be lucky to get his contract back. Remember one about it was all over the news. ESPN was told from the higher ups to stop talking about President Trump, stop talking about politics, and stop being so overtly leftist. Because all of a sudden, fucking Letterman started trying to be woke, and he was bringing it up fucking like almost daily, and he was trying to insert politics in his woke leftism. And he was threatened. He was told it was a company-wide email, and then he was told directly that if he doesn't knock it off, not only won't he get contract renewed, but he'll be zapped. How that made me fucking so happy.
Nobody wants to hear their
Did any of you guys see that? Did any of you guys see Ricky Gervais calling out all them fucking Muppets?
Yeah, I seen it.
They're all giggling and laughing.
Thank you, God. Thank you, agent. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And when he made it, who was it? Was it Weinstein? He made a joke about when they went. Oh, he goes. Oh, don't I know that? I know he's one of your friends.
Yeah, exactly,
You know
because
what I mean?
he was 100% right. He was like, I know, he's one of your friends. It's like, yeah, that's true.
He killed all, and then he was going to shut the fuck up about politics. No one cares about your entitled, opinion, and just stick to making crap movies and stuff. It was killing them all. Weren't it? It was brilliant.
Tom Hanks almost went to water.
Tom Hanks found that funny.
Apparently Tom Hanks hates Ricky Gervais.
Yes, it was. But Variety magazine said he was furious.
Yeah, Tom Hanks is a fucking dickhead himself.
No, he is. But listen, go look at that initial reaction. He was like, "Oh, hold on, let me finish this." He said, "God damn, like he's fucking killing it." That was his initial reaction. Look, you can hate somebody, but if they're doing something good or funny, your initial reaction, it is what it is. It's like
Harvey Weinstein, Bob Weinstein, God bless him.
Harvey Weinstein, who believed in us and made this movie.
Harvey and Bob Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein. Thank you, Harvey Weinstein, especially Harvey.
I want to thank Harvey.
I don't think they're friends though. They're just lying.
You know what the best with that whole Harvey Weinstein thing was? This was the best part of it. This was the best part of that whole scandal about them chicks he molested or whatever. This is the best part. Okay, now listen. I'm not saying anything sticking up for his bullshit. He did some shitty things to some of these broads. But half of them, at least half of them, are lying and they want a paycheck from the motherfucker. And then when you take that shit to court, your whole stories got fucking holes up the ass in it, so nobody ever goes to jail. Like these fucking bimbos.
Yeah, the problem is, Johnny, right? The problem is
one second. So these bimbos who ain't had a good fucking movie since '93 over here, all of a sudden want a paycheck. So then they say, "Oh yeah, he fucking grabbed my
No, the problem is, hang on a minute, Jim. The problem is, I mean, some of them probably are lying, but there's a lot of them that are telling the truth. This guy's
I know, but my point was,
John, please. This guy's got paedophile written. Look at Prince Andrew, man. Prince Andrew is basically said this guy's a paedophile. He didn't know. Listen, I'm surprised Prince Andrew went on that soundbite saying, "I want to thank fucking Harvey Weinstein for fucking getting me pussy, the first bit of pussy I've had since Sarah Ferguson," or something. Because let's be real, he's another pit.
No, absolutely with that one.
Stu, but my point was this: the chicks he actually did molest, the case gets fucked up from the ones he didn't, because now you got a bunch of holes in your story when you go to court. Is what I was getting at, bro. Because some of them.
Johnny, I totally agree, but the fact is, it doesn't change the fact that he did it.
Look,
Oprah Winfrey knew that this guy was molesting girls. Knew it. She knew what was going on.
Everybody in fucking Hollywood knew it was such. Listen, remember 2 years before he got arrested, or 3 years ago before he got arrested, Seth MacFarlane said on the fucking Oscars. Remember when he said, "Why Harvey isn't here tonight? So yeah, all you guys, you girls have to be. You're safe tonight." It was the worst kept secret in Hollywood. So because it was the worst kept secret, like that chick Anna, whatever, who was on The Sopranos, who's suddenly coming out saying, "I was raped many times by him." There's people who now say, I can't find his name, I'm trying to remember, said it was not only known, like girls who wanted to up their career would find out and literally hunt him down. They were throwing themselves at him too because they knew he was a pig. So
the thing is, I agree with you, Jimmy, because a lot of girls,
but he did do some terrible shit.
A lot of girls bring this on themselves, but the fact is, any sort of man that's got any sort of dignity is going to fucking tell him to fuck off. You're a little girl, go away.
It doesn't excuse away one rape. It doesn't. I don't give a fuck how many girls threw themselves at him. If he fucking raped one, I hate skinners. You take a woman's fucking, I'll stab you in the face with a fucking ice pick. So help me Christ.
Guys, we gotta end the show. This is second.
Oh, hang on, but Joe, I just want to say I think we've got Harvey Weinstein in the chat, hiding by the name Travis the Chimp.
Bill Cosby stories a fictional acting job, man. Listen, I don't know, but he does. I mean, I think he was guilty, man. Bill Cosby, he is like.
I just think it was low rent putting him in prison at this age for crimes that far ago. Yeah, he liked to slip people. I mean, it's just they made an example of him. I mean, he's a fucking frail old man. What the fuck? You know what I mean? I just don't see the point of putting him in prison.
Jimmy, what about those Nazis that are like at 90 years old and they're putting him in like in jail for?
It's just ridiculous. Yeah, come on.
Well, I don't know.
Fuck.
All right, guys. This is for these are topics for the second Renaissance. All right, guys. So
yeah, well, that's just like they did with Joey the Clown. Rest in peace. He fucking, he's fucking 93 years old, bro. What are you gonna fucking? Then they throw him in prison and beat him up. What the fuck is wrong?
The law.
They just did that here in Massachusetts 2 years ago. They did this bullshit pull-in and they took in all the old timers off the street. Dude, these guys are up there with respirators in the early 90s over some stupid bookie thing. Was dumb. It's headlines. It's DAs shooting for headlines.
Yeah, that's Jimmy. That's what I was just gonna say. So you're gonna throw some 90-year-old guy because he's got a little bookmaking going on, and it like come on.
If they got names from the past, they like to throw it up on the fucking sells newspapers. You know what I mean?
Look, I'm willing to say that we should be strong on crime, but like that's petty. 90-year-old, come on, putting 90-year-olds who are not committing violent crimes is like, yeah, I know how to teach this 90-year-old lesson. Let's put him in prison. Yeah,
because he whacked 2 people in 1940 over here. Who gives a fuck?
You whacked somebody in 1940.
Bucho, I just want to hey guys, let's say goodnight to Bucho and thank you for having the show. And he's trying to hang up, and we're fucking keeping him on, man. So all you guys, man, always awesome talking to you. Bucho, thanks for having me on. Everybody be safe.
Yeah, I'm out of here as well, boys. I'm gone.
Thank you all for joining us. You guys are the best. Also, you guys in the chat, except some crazies. Nah, everybody in the chat is okay. Guys, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on BDA Boxing. Oh, and check out the Second Renaissance, our second channel. Oh, and we also have a Discord. I have to promote that. We have a Discord chat page. I don't know how you call it. But you can download the app on Google Play Store or what's the other one? Apple iStore, whatever. Download Discord and join us for 24/7 live chat. It's called Discord. Check it out. Everybody, have a good night. God damn it. I was playing that shit music before.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in everyone. Disappointed in everyone.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more. I'm disappointed in everyone.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
You just killed those fucking men.
What are you going to do about it?
You're happy because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. You're happy because you got nothing. Lobito! You got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA Boxing.